There is a castle on the hill, as the story goes. Hey! Yeah, I don't know this one, so I can't make reference to it. So welcome or welcome back. I am Jacob.
I'm Aiden.
And together we
are the Butter
Bunch.
Bunch. I thought BB was gonna pop in there because there's a pause. I'm like, wait, is BB coming? Is BB here? I was confused for a second.
I was confused why you said butter twice, but there you go. Anyway,
we are the Butter Bunch. This is it's like the premium Butter Bunch. You know, like you have like Butter Bunch like standard edition, then you have like the Butter Bunch, which is like the premium Butter Bunch.
We do have channel membership, so I guess there is
something. I joined the Butter Bunch by signing up for our YouTube premiums.
It's currently not called that. We might change the name. Who knows?
The Butter Bunch.
Yeah, so anyway, this is the Kerrygold Bunch. Again, don't get this yet because we have included every piece of marketing involved in with this production.
Oh, I had to. Okay, so funny story. There's a TikTok on my For You page. I was like scrolling, and then like a random clip pulls by, and I'm like, nope, no. Why are you showing me this TikTok? How dare you?
Yeah, like some people.
How dare you try to spoil me, TikTok?
Yeah, some people have talked about, you know, how I have a Cinderella's castle. I've used this or the other. I remember there's like the whole teaser thing that came out like a year ago, and etc. And I was like, nope, we are going in completely blind for this. The only thing that has happened is that I kind of, in order to make this like, you know, the two parts, I had to kind of like scroll through the downloaded file on like a timeline and like guess where the Act 1 break happened. I think I got it right. But then again, you lot are here to help with that in case that is not the case.
So we may accidentally watch more than Act 1 today, or watch less than Act 1.
Or less, exactly. Either way, it is roughly around the midpoint of the video, a little bit towards slightly more. So yeah. And with that in mind, we probably should get started because I have to actually plan a trip tomorrow, so I can't really be around for much longer. Unless I'm multitasking in preparation.
Wait, so are you not going to stream on your main channel tomorrow?
Probably not tomorrow, precisely.
Oh, I should tell Ghosty because then she can do a Curse Culture review. I can't.
I was going to tell Ghosty as well, but yes, you can go ahead and let her know if you really want to. Yes, okay.
Yeah, I'll mention Jacob. I'm going to mention that you're not going to be around tomorrow, Ghosty. So you can do a Curse Culture review.
The ball is the start of Act 2. Not helpful in terms of determining where the Act 1 break appears, but it is helpful in terms of, I guess, well, once we get to see it, fair enough. All right. And also kind of interesting, because, I mean, that's the case where I've seen lots of Cinderella pantomimes, and that is how they do it sometimes. But with pantomimes particularly, it's because, like, they have to do a huge costume change for Cinderella specifically, which I'm guessing is the reason they do that as well. And that's why there's a lot that's been built up beforehand. It's always interesting to me because the story of Cinderella, the first version that I actually was exposed to was you know, a children's book, and of course children's books, like they tend to you know, summarize everything, you know, to the level of aid and stage directions. So we've but like that first half, I suppose, you know, they skip over, you know, the ideas of, you know, her meeting the prince beforehand, which happens in a lot of versions, or, you know, things of that nature. And it's mostly the case of, okay, well, the setting up, the prince is having a ball, Cinderella's family sucks, she wants to go to said ball, their family does not want to, fairy godmother, dress, boom, we're off. Basically that. So it's always interesting, like how the balance goes. But then again, there's not much after that point either, if I think about it. So maybe it is kind of more of a.
I mean, the whole ball scene and the whole running away with the shoe getting lost is kind of like the big moment in the whole story.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I mean, obviously, that they sometimes they say that she's there for a couple of hours. Sometimes she literally just arrives. She has one dance and is like, "Oh well, time to go. It's midnight already."
Yeah, it's midnight. It's like, girl, when did you leave? Did you leave like 5 minutes to midnight? Did you leave 5 minutes? That's a bad idea.
Yeah, you see the my cart driver was recently transfigured from animal form, so his navigation skills were abysmal. So we were super late. Which makes me wonder how she got back home. Now I think about, you know what? Whatever. We're getting off topic.
She ran with one glass slipper and one barefoot all the way home.
Okay, right. But moving on from that, let's look at the Starkid version. No, new musical. Been a while. Let's proceed.
Hopefully the music is good.
Hopefully, there's 12 original songs according to the wiki page.
Hey.
Oh wait, wrong. Sorry, wrong scene. I had it. Okay, a non-stage intro. Fair enough.
There's a castle on a hill, as the story goes.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to be.
There's a castle
well, now
on
I know.
A hill, as the story goes.
There we go. Nailed it.
Nailed it. I don't know how the rest of the song goes. Yeah.
Well, that was the only lyrics they posted, so it's fine. Yeah.
And the secrets in the stone.
Yeah,
across the
Claire!
moon.
Let's go. He's back.
In the
finally.
halls, the shadows creep. Are they echoes in the keep, or are they ghosts?
His face looks more contour.
Or are they ghosts? Let's
Ooh,
go.
that's nice. I know backing. Of course. That's how you know you're in a Starkid thing immediately, is if they have, backup harmonies right from the get-go.
Through a secret passageway where shadows dance and play. You gotta buy wonder. You gotta buy wonder.
Chaos David Bowie. You know what? Yes, I can see it. To those who have seen Labyrinth, that makes way more sense.
By the way, I love all the costumes so far in here. Like, the costumes are very fairy tale-esque, old-fashioned, and I really like that.
That is very true. They remind me of, I guess, a more colorful version of Witch Academy for those who have seen the main channel, and that is a good thing. As much as we say about Witch Academy, we love the costumes.
Yeah, we criticize the story and everything about that show, but not the designs. The designs, for the most part, are pretty good.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, seems like Bon is having trouble at the moment. Yeah. Okay then. Or on mobile. We'll see what happens. It's very Labyrinth coded. Yeah, I can guess so. I mean, also another sign of Starkid, the 80s. They love the 80s. Isn't that right, Miss Holiday?
Do you think he's gonna steal a baby? That's elaborate reference.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. For this story, maybe not.
A factory for stories that shatter, and who really loved her. Let's go! There's a castle on a hill, as the story goes, and it watches over us from across the moat. There are tales in those walls.
Wait, hold on. To say that the castle has a moat and also is on a hill,
maybe
that's some good defense. I'll say that much.
The moat's around the hill, I guess.
It took ages to build the moat around the hill.
Hopefully, a avalanche doesn't make it spill.
Yes, let's go.
Are they tall? I need to know. I need to know. Comedy or tragedy? Will it ever after happily? You start knowing. Yeah.
What was that look? Will it ever after happily? I mean, okay.
You start wonder. A queen in his vanity, a beast in his agony. Is he outnumbered? Will the kingdom shun her?
I'm guessing this is meant to be like a summary, because I think Cinderella's Castle meant to be the next big theatrical universe, let's say, that Starkid is about. I don't remember exactly, because again I've deliberately avoided the marketing for a year. But I do remember there was something about that, or at least like a hint, maybe, that there would be more tales of this nature. Kind of similar, I guess, to the VHS Christmas ones.
I mean, it makes sense.
If they let the drawbridge down, maybe we can spy just a glimpse of the Starkids in their design. Who sits upon a throne? Will they draw a sword from stone?
There we go,
to
thank you.
decide? Will they let us inside?
Wait a minute, does that mean that BB is missing the birth of a new Starkid theatrical universe? Oh no.
There's a castle on a hill, that's the story goes.
Also, you've seen Labyrinth, haven't you? You, of all people, have seen Labyrinth. Here's some more stories on lands that are, including Mayhaps a take on... including Mayhaps a take on Snow White, Beauty and the Beast. Well, I mean, a beast in his agony, a queen in her vanity. It was kind of, you know, that alone was already a hint at those two stories. So, yeah.
And its archers draw their bows across the moat. I fall the fortress, I worship its sheer size.
Actually, you know what I want to see? I want to see a Victor Hugo cinematic universe. I want to see Les Miserables, Beauty and the Beast, and Hunchback of Notre Dame take place, share a continuity. I want to know what that would be like.
For the balance it must hide. I need to know. Will I ever know? Will I ever?
Jeff reminds me of the Babe. Ah, I guess means he's getting kidnapped.
Will I ever know?
Wow, they really like the Jeff Blim shuffling forward movement. That got a cute crowd reaction.
The bridge! The bridge is coming down! There's a castle on a hill!
Oh, a possible London Bridge reference? That's a nursery rhyme. Is that a land that are? I guess London is a land that exists currently, so I guess, yeah.
As the story goes, and it watches over us from across the moat. Look upon its structure, yeah. There are tales in those walls. Oh, they're tall and tall. I need to know. I need to know. Let's go.
The Langs have opened the story to future-proof it. What if it's going to happen to London? Anyway, they have several seeds to expand the universe if there is a demand for more. Ah, I see. Okay. Oh, so Grace Chastity wasn't originally meant to... Okay. Interesting about Grace Chastity being name dropped, because I do remember they said that Nerdy Prudes was written first in the Hatchetfield series, but because of the budget for that, they decided to do Guardian Light musicals before that. So it's possible. So, but okay, maybe Grace Chastity wasn't as heavily involved in the first draft. I don't know.
I mean, they may have they may have added her in, or something, like rewrote it massive times.
That is true. I mean, I guess the only reference that we really needed for Grace in the first place was, you know, she just served as somebody who Bill might potentially think would be a good match for Alice, which, knowing Grace's religious inclinations, probably would not have gone down so well in retrospect. But there you go. I guess Bill wasn't aware of that, even though, I mean, you would think with someone devoted to the church, you know, there's definitely some hints they drop sometimes. I'll say also, I love the stage for this. That's one that hasn't been mentioned yet, because it's very different to a lot of the Starkid stuff. Either takes place inside of a black box, or it's, well, I mean, the thing might also be a black box, but it doesn't have as much of a as many like ornate lights in the background, nor is there like such an elevated ceiling or anything. So if anything, I think the last time that I saw a stage of this vast was actually Black Friday, but that could have just been the cameras.
Thank you, lords, ladies, hey folk of all kinds.
Oh, thank you, lords and ladies.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It is worth mentioning. I got well met lords and ladies from one of my lines when I was in a play that was a compilation of grim fairy tales. So, you know, Cinderella kind of the origin makes sense.
In all the lands that are...
Oh, so it's the same theater as Nerdy Prudes. Okay, fair enough then. I guess it was just the camera I didn't notice last time.
There truly is no greater audience than the one here in Bogs Hollow. Let's hear it, Bogs Hollow.
Bogs Hollow, Bogs
Now,
Hollow.
do we have any wood elves
It's like Go
in
Nighthawks.
the crowd tonight? No. Any no?
I'm so glad that the audience immediately caught on to this and they were just like, no, we're all humans. Like, again, you got to yes and this sort of thing. I will never forget my 14th birthday. I've told the story before, but I'll never forget this. The time that I went to that I went to Harry Potter World for the first time. It was a surprise, my 14th birthday. And the lady called out to see if there were any Slytherins apart from herself, and no one cheered. Then the Gryffindors, everyone cheered. Well, not everyone cheered, but half the people there cheered for Gryffindor. And then she carried it on and said, any Ravenclaws? And I went, yeah! It was literally just me. No one else. And at the top of my lungs was like, yeah, Ravenclaw, let's go! and then, of course, because she called Hufflepuffs afterwards, no one dared to speak up. No one dared subject themselves to the humiliation that I had just endured. I was the cautionary tale for all Hufflepuffs, I suppose. Despite being a Ravenclaw. There you go. Ravenclaw haters. Well, it seemed like it. The Hufflepuffs had it worse, though, but yeah. Eventually, the lady did stop me and said there were some of the staff members are Ravenclaws. She wanted to make sure she knew I knew that I wasn't alone in general in the whole of the vicinity. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was the start of the trip. That was the beginning of the tour. That was a tone setter. No, the rest of it was amazing. That was just that first bit.
Gnomes? My first wife was a gnome.
Oh wait, gnomes! Let's go! I'm represented!
It was a short marriage. I jest. Let's hear it again for our cast of players.
Short marriage, yeah. Oh, hey, look! Look who just joined right as I do this voice! What a coincidence! Isn't that right, Doc?
Wow.
You're a wood elf, you were represented as well!
Well, I'm a halfling, so I don't know, I'm a human and elf.
You're not a halfling, Doc. That's a whole different species. You're a half-breed.
Listen, okay? Don't say the word breed.
But you're a doctor. It's a medical term. What do you mean?
I know, but it gives me Pokemon Bridge flashbacks when I hear the word breed.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I guess we do know that outside of the meta. Everyone in the chat is confused as to what we're actually talking about right now. These are our D&D characters. Mine is a rock gnome named Nathaniel.
And mine's a doctor who gives out pills constantly that do random stuff.
Yeah, who is a half elf, but we never specify what type of elf, so no wood elf representation here.
I don't think he's a wood elf because he doesn't have any wood related.
Yeah, we never specified, but he gave. Yeah, based on his heritage, he gave more high elf vibes. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Double H. Oh, it's good to see you again.
Oh god.
And for our
too excited. But they called for gnomes. I'm of course gonna say yes to gnomes. What do you mean?
musical accompaniment tonight, the whippoorwills. We have Matthias.
No Cisco that I saw, but
where's Cisco Ramon? We stand Cisco Ramon in this house.
The Wibbler boys on the strings. Toothless John on the drums.
I like he doesn't open his mouth to sell the bit.
And last but not least, Ragweed Rockhammer of the Dwarven folk on the woodblock.
Have I mentioned how I love the way that they've incorporated the camera now? Like they've gone so good at it over the years. Like if it weren't for the audience reactions, you would think this was a TV show filmed in front of a live studio audience with this shot alone, not with the rest of it.
Is that the lion from Wizard of Oz?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't give too many lion vibes, but I guess they're gonna not did that lion. To be fair.
By the way, I need Starkid to do a Wizard of Oz adaptation. Give it to me now.
He's heading off. Have fun. These meticulously missed. They didn't work. Hey, look, just have some alcohol again. That knocked you out last time.
Listen, okay. My pills.
You weren't there for that, Doc.
Listen, if you
the
take
pills.
if you take my pills enough, I think you'll pass out eventually. Because you'll get lucky and get an effect that knocks you out.
Yeah, the side effects might be disastrous. You might not wake up again. I don't recommend that.
You'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I haven't had anyone die of my pills so far.
No, we have some close calls though.
On the woodblock, dwarf.
I'll hit my block when I'm good and ready.
I guess the disadvantage of the camera in this situation is that we can see the puppeteer much more closely than we normally could.
You know what this is giving? You know what this is giving? This is giving Starship vibes.
A little bit. Yeah. Right down to Joe Richter being the puppeteer. Yeah, exactly. The rest of all his characters are all insane. Yeah, Doc was supposed to be the sensible character. We were trying to have Aiden play against like his typecasting and be the sensible like.
Listen, I can't.
I was the shenanigan character, and I end up having to like make all the plans of people like.
Listen, I can't role play serious for hours. Okay, I can role play serious for 10 minutes, and then I guess
we learned that the hard way.
Then I end up cracking into joke territory.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And meanwhile, I was like, I could continue to make shenanigans right now, but we're not getting anywhere today with this session. We need to make sure that this pushes further. You know, Nathaniel is now smarter than he was intended to be. I miss playing D&D. I miss playing D&D. It's been a while since I played D&D. I think the last time that I played was actually on this channel, Mysteries of Occult episode 1. Check that out. Plug.
I miss playing D&D. I want to play D&D.
I will say that I will say that these aren't the characters we play in that campaign, Mysteries of Occulta.
Scooby. Yeah, he plays Scooby. It's great.
Yes, exactly. BP plays actual Scooby-Doo because of miscommunication we had, and I played a character that I originally wrote to be 9 years old, but Aiden told me to age up, so now none of her stats make sense.
Okay, listen. There are adult things going on, like a lot of weed.
Yeah, I didn't know that going into it.
So like a lot of weed.
Explained. Yeah.
And there's also brothels, so you know.
Yeah, that was the part. Yeah, the brothel was where I was like, yeah, no, I'm not working on your character for this series. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Like again, this is behind the scenes communication. So yeah, make sure on the same page as your DM. That's the advice. So yeah. Oh well.
You menfolk are always in such a hurry. We of the Mountainkin like to do things in our own time.
There it is.
I do love the way that he still has the same facial expressions as well, like as the.
Tonight, we bring you a tale full of magic, mystery, music, and monsters.
I thought I was going to say mayhem. I like how the audience clapped. Can they all see the cover? I guess the front row probably can.
For an age and an age. Now you hit the damn block.
It was his own time.
He said he'll do it his own time. I mean, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess the dwarves do serve as the resident old folk unless the elves are around.
I was ready.
May I begin our story, Master Dwarf?
Not yet.
Please sing.
Now.
I want to hear a song from this creature.
For an age and an age, the house of Ashmore stood proud and strong. And yet, there is no family tree that does not wither, that does not burn.
Die. Oh.
Well, I guess burn because, Ashmore, yeah, I guess.
When the flames of ruination swept through the Ashmore clan, they were consumed like so much kindling. The Lady Ashmore was burned at the stake for the crime of witchcraft.
Ooh,
Of
Her
course.
husband died of consumption, they say.
Consumption?
I'm seeing a theme of this. Also, bear in mind that, Cinderella gets her name from having to have slept by the fireplace, where all the ash and cinders were. That's why she's called that. So,
Yeah.
a possible hint at her heritage?
Not a fortnight after taking a second wife. Curious. The house of Ashmore was left, poetically enough, in ashes. The last flickering
Yes, we got the hint.
cinder was Ella, their only daughter, who, if peasant gossip could be trusted, was driven mad and mangy.
And of course, peasant gossip probably can't be trusted, so she's probably fine.
With grief.
I spend my days knee-deep in pig guts, but fuck all do you stink.
'Twas a crime against the gods. This high-born girl stood in the shop covered in filth, suffering the abuse of some lowly butcher.
Your order's ready, Stinky. Where's your mother?
Her mother is ash on the winds, thank the gods. Stepmother,
I was not expecting this casting, but I'm all for it.
sir,
And before anyone says it, again, we skipped the marketing. We didn't know who was being cast as who.
I'll not have it said I squeezed out this creature. Leave the shop, child. I want to be in it.
Yes, stepmother.
In it.
Wait by the cart,
There
Ella.
you go.
And if those flighty
It's Starkid, in it.
little feet of yours wander off again, I may have to remove them.
Ah, yes. Well, possible hint at the actual way that they try to put into the shoes later.
Yeah, they may actually bring like the Grimm fairy tales idea of them like cutting their heel and like their toes off to get into the shoe. They may actually bring that.
I would be surprised if they didn't. I remember that one of the pantomimes that I went to see of Cinderella actually did that, and I was surprised that they kept that part in. Because normally it's just a case of the stepsisters being like, oh no, it doesn't fit, and then that's it. But no, they actually went the extra mile, and they even had they even did like a sting when a toe flew off, and I was like, oh wow, they're going for it. Okay.
By the way, imagine wearing actual glass slippers, so that must be so painful. Like you couldn't have picked anything less painful, fairy godmother. No. Glass slippers. Because, why not?
Yeah, she's too busy transfiguring animals to, without the capacity for human communication, presumably.
You have a bone saw, don't you,
I wonder who plays
Yeah,
the fairy
do my-
godmother in this.
I would be surprised if they're. Oh, sorry, you're saying who the fairy godmother is? Okay.
Yeah, like
don't know.
I wonder who they actually got to play. Oh, maybe it is. Crap, what's her name? Who plays? The queen of the thing in Black Friday, rich lady.
So yeah. Linda Monroe or Lauren Lopez, the actress.
Lauren Lopez, maybe. I stand Lauren Lopez as the fairy godmother.
That would make sense. Although if I were doing this again with the noise that I have right now, I would have said Jamie Lynn Beatty.
Oh, maybe.
Alternatively, I forgot the other Jamie Burns, because of the performance at the end as Chorn. Yes, behold me. I am the fairy godmother. Just kind of similar vibe, but oh well. Who knows? I just trust anyone to see it before to read the script of the show on YouTube as a content warning that was read before musical started with the digital tickets. Oh, okay. In that case, because we haven't seen it, I will do that now. Let's see.
Okay.
Cinderella's Castle. Okay.
It just says all the spoilers.
It's
It's like Cinderella dies in the third act because her stepmother decides to throw her in the fire and she becomes a fire elemental.
Oh wait, I just realized the cast list is in the description. I'm not gonna read that.
Avert your eyes! Chat, if you would like to in the chat, everybody, if you wouldn't mind, maybe could one of you copy and paste that one message?
No. It's fine. I just have to not scroll down. I can see Lauren Lopez's name and also Bryce Charles and Andrew Giarratano, who we've already seen, so we know them. Everyone else, currently obscured. Okay, right. So, the actual description reads, Starkid Productions invites you on a journey to the lands that are, for a fantasy adventure filled with music, magic, and monsters. When Ella Ashmore's noble house is brought to ruin by a trio of skin-stealing trolls, she seeks her revenge with the help of a fairy goddess. Not godmother, but goddess. Okay, interesting. A frog knight and his mouse squad. This really is D&D, actually.
Hey! You know what? You know what would be awesome, actually? Fairy tale style D&D, where we all pick where we collectively decide on a fairy tale, and we all just play roles in what that said fairy tale style.
I think Dimension 20 beat us to that by several years, but it would also be fun in general.
But that would be fun, okay? What if we did it Wizard of Oz style? Oh my god, Wizard of Oz D&D? I mean,
I need to brush up on my Oz lore for that, but yeah.
I want Wizard of Oz D&D, Jacob. I'm into Wizard of Oz too much.
I mean, fair enough. I would not be surprised if there was like several different homebrewers for all the different like Oz species. I can imagine that. Anyway, back to this. This gothic reimagining of the classic fairy tale features. There's a book by Nick and Matt Lang with music and lyrics by Jeff Blim. Warning: Cinderella's castle is intended for mature audiences. It contains adult language / humor, simulated violence / dismemberment of toes, presumably, and imagery that some viewers may find frightening. Discretion is advised. You can run, but are you fast enough? You can hide, but they will find you. Anyway, yeah, okay. So essentially, your classic, warnings. Nothing that I was not expecting in here. Fair enough. Another Jacob Short King character. That's a good point. But like half of Nathaniel's jokes were involved with me like trying to describe his actions, but in reference to like how tall he is and how difficult certain things were as a result. Because he was like 3'2", so yeah. It was like look me in the eyes. Okay, I back up slightly and look you in the eyes. Yeah.
He was killed?
Spoilers. No, he wasn't.
I was like, he was killed? What? No, that did not happen. What do you mean he was killed? When did this happen? I don't remember that at all. I was there. I would have known if he got murdered.
Yeah, you'd probably try to revive me.
I probably would have been like, okay, I know you're dead, but if you take this pill, you'll come back to life. I know you're dead, but this has to work.
And Vin would have allowed that. Yeah.
And it would have been hilarious. But then you probably would have ended up being forced to speak Spanish for the rest of the episode or something.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You would have came back to life, but you would only spoke Spanish for the whole episode. Mm-hmm. It would have been really weird. It would be like, okay.
We're done with Mercedes on ship. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this much. I have like in the back of my mind, I've been like, I mean, for a different campaign, should I just bring him back in some other form? But I don't know. The thing is that the character that I intend to, I plan to play in the next campaign I was involved in actually was actually Professor Crackknuckle, who is in fact a troll of the non-skin stealing variety. So another comparison to this. Yeah. Oz you know what Nathaniel and Oz would be. Well, I don't know. Well, gnomes would make sense in Oz after like a different character that's kind of reminiscent. But there you go. Anyway, oh hey, look at that! Nathaniel's sister appeared.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if you explained it. Chat. My school's my college's campus.
Internet.
Fuck me. I've been laying in bed, brain rise. Okay. Internet went down, but it went down on the entire campus.
Fun.
It's just now come back.
By the way, your mic audio sounds awful.
Shut up. No one asked you.
Be a munchkin, like I said earlier. just like Nathaniel's Oz alter ego. So I need like a different name because Nathaniel the gnome was like another part of like his whole thing was that they added like silent G to a bunch of stuff.
Hey,
that was like a whole thing.
Hey, I have an idea, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What if it was Monty the Munchkin?
Rock and roll.
Wait,
I'm a munchkin
oh my
now.
god, hold on a second. No, even
The witch is
better.
dead.
Nathaniel the Munchkin.
He's really good at that.
So you missed this, BB, but we were talking about. We mentioned the idea
I'm
of a
sure I
fairy
missed
tale
plenty.
D&D. You actually didn't miss that much video so far, I don't think. You just missed opening number. Anyways, but we were talking about the idea of like a Wizard of Oz style D&D campaign where we all play roles in a vain story of the Wizard of Oz.
All right.
Well, or the vain world of the Wizard of Oz, maybe not
Yeah.
the story itself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting.
Unless you did want to like adapt the first book and then have us arrive via, I don't know, 4 separate tornadoes or something.
Oh, that would be convenient. No way. Okay.
Oh wait, hold on.
No,
we
here's
all
the
have to
opening.
say. Wait, no. We all have to say this isn't. That's
We'll
our
never know
location
what we
is different.
BB, you were cutting out. What'd you say?
all we heard was we have to say this isn't, except our location is different. I don't know.
But no,
There
but
we
okay.
go. Okay.
I think
So
that's good
the-
argument
I
basis.
said.
Oh, my
I
bad.
said. We all have to say. We all have to say this ain't blank no more, and we just replace that blank with like all of our different places, and we have to say it in unison.
I don't know about saying it in unison. That's gonna be difficult to pull off on a live stream, but yeah. All right.
You know what would be funny as well? What if like okay, so the witch gets hit by one house, the other comes out, says like this isn't blank anymore, and then another house immediately crashes on that house as we hear the witch being like, I am alive, help me. And we hear another house crash on it, and the person gets out, and it just happens so we all get there, and the witch is like and just the witch dies in the final house, crushing her.
Mhm. Something, yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
4 houses kill 1 witch.
Mm.
Yes. Forgive my stepdaughter, she's a slobbering lunatic. Now I know you
When
had
she
something-
started that out with an S, I was not expecting slobbering to be. I heard SL, and I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Not going for alliteration this time.
Prepared to your specifications, Mum, but here's the thing about meat. If you don't salt it or chill it, it's gonna go rotten. And I don't
Yeah, having a whole basket like that in this time period is probably not a good idea. Not to mention just in direct contact with the wood, but there you
mean
go.
to question my bitters, Mum, but look here. It's furry and foul and full of maggots.
Yes. Wonderful work. You
What?
are an artist.
I can't tell you this, Mum. I got a reputation to maintain.
As do I. Which is why I trust this transaction will remain.
How do you think I maintain this form? A steady diet of rotten meat and maggots, of course. Maggots, exactly.
Wait, is she standing on a stool just to be
Yes.
like, look at me. Hello.
Yes.
But, Mum,
You've taken such care handling my meat.
Oh, handling
Seems only
your
fair I
meat.
handle your.
By the way, this is
Oh.
exactly what Nathaniel would do in this situation. He'd stand up on a stool to be on eye level with someone to intimidate them.
Horse. No. Perhaps with a
Oh wow, the crowd really liked that one.
plump sauce.
You know, see, here's the thing. Obviously, our chat is, very thirsty for pretty much everyone who has breathed in the same space as the Team Starkid people.
And
But,
is also film presenting. We have a lot of.
No,
honestly,
there's some
no,
people
not
who are
even
into the
like-
mask presenting people too.
Yeah, definitely.
They exist.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that is a relatively novel thing that has happened recently, or if that was always the case with Starkid in general, because that kind of line would mostly have gotten like the usual laughter in the olden days, and now it got a cheer from people who probably want Andrew to say the same thing to them. To be real. Anyway,
Heavy says y'all can refer to me by name.
Hey, it's more than just you, okay? It's more than just you.
yeah,
We-
like it happens to be Angela in this scene, but it would, yeah.
This is a channel founded by gays and Jacob.
All right, shop's closed.
Let's make this quick. My wife will be here any minute.
Oh, it won't take long, will it, you filthy pig?
Oh.
In the square, the townsfolk dared
I
not
want to be
meet
aggressively pushed into the bedroom with someone making Mr. Krabs noises at me.
And yet, there we go. There's the thirst. There it is. All right. Well, then again, it's a butcher, so I guess the pig comparison makes sense there. Anyway, all right. And as well as women and everything in between. There we go. And there's also John Madison as well, of course. Yeah.
gaze. They had heard the rumors of the mad maid and the hex that hung over her like a mist on the
Now we have the alliteration. Mad maid and hex that hung over.
marsh.
Oh, excuse me, milady. Oh, stay away. I don't want to catch what you've got.
I don't want to catch the hysteria, of course. Yeah. Speaking of that, on the Butterbunch Google profile, like sometimes you get like more varied recommendations because obviously 4 people use this account. Well, 3 people actively use this account. So I don't know which one of us might have unintentionally made the algorithm recommend this on our profile, but there's a particular song that we've been served like a couple of times that is about how they treated hysteria in the 1880s. Yeah, which apparently the method behind that was to was for doctors to. The fact that BB's giggling probably means that she either knows that how it was treated or that was it was her recommendation. But apparently, the way it was dealt with was that one would go and see a doctor, and that doctor would try to exorcise the bad spirits from the womanly areas, and until there was a discharge, they would remain there, applying pressure to the area. Let's say.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole song was about how somebody really wanted to be a hysterical in the 1880s. that was the chorus.
Oh.
I think we can see why. Yeah.
We love wacky, weird science probably invented through misogyny. It's absurd every time.
Well, I mean,
another
some of it is definitely more beneficial to the patient than the others. I don't know about the leeches part from 200 years before that.
No, I mean, here's the thing: we've had different, like my biggest examples that I can think are like marshmallows. Whenever we first started growing those, they were actually herbalistic plants and were generally good for you. That's still true. That wasn't a misconception. You know, it was a misconception. Us giving people Coca-Cola because we thought that cocaine was good medicine for a while, and then we realized people were getting addicted, so we got rid of it.
Oh well, I think it was used a lot in dental practice as well.
Yep. Big. I can go on. God, cotton candy used to be called tooth candy, and then they realized, oh, hey, maybe this is bad, and so they just changed the color and started calling it cotton candy, and now it's sweet.
Oh, is it because it was in the shape of a tooth? I was about to be like, why would they call it tooth candy? Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
Then, because again, it was meant to be good. It was meant to be healthy and good for your teeth, which is not how it was made. I don't know how they managed to get the result they did, but they were horribly wrong.
Oh, milady, help a woman in need? Mayhaps I could spare a copper or 2. Don't
there's the mayhaps part. All right.
bandy words with a curseling, Margaret. She'll bring us bad luck.
Or she'll use it on the drugs, like cocaine, which is legal right now,
and viewed as healthy, beneficial, in fact.
I remember you knew my father.
Oh, Godzilla, what's become of you?
I know how I look, how I smell. You think I want this?
That's not really the question. The question was what happened, not whether did you want it. It was like, oh yes, you intentionally changed everything about yourself. Yes. Like your hair. What's going on there with your head? I'm kidding.
Want me to stink. Sweet scents offend them. Crinkles their noses. They only have love for grave worms and mold and
Okay, now I'm seeing why they call the Mad Maid. Now I get it.
things that grow in the dark.
Ella, I think it's best we find your mother.
She's not my mother. She's
Dang.
not even human.
Help
No,
here.
I'm sorry. I just need you to believe what I'm saying.
Are they love
She's
interests?
wearing someone else's skin.
Right!
That explains the skin-stealing trolls in the description. Again, you lot have spoiled me now. The fact that he's doing that voice now, I'm theorizing this character's also a skin-stealing troll.
Can't you see it? The seam on the back of her
About the
neck.
implications, yeah. Are you frightened? That, like, no one, has considered that. Maybe delivering lines in this way in universe, obviously out of universe they're doing it on purpose, but like in universe, delivering lines like that is not going to encourage people to take you seriously, and people in the real world don't realize that either. Anyway, Ella, no.
Why can't anyone else see it? Has the world gone mad?
No, just you.
I just saw you now. I guess I'm determining you've gone mad.
Ella, was she down on her luck? Or did witchcraft hang her head low? The towny folks,
Yes,
they won't
both.
get close, her hair matted down. They prefer that she's locked in a home. Fresh as a daisy, mysterious ways. Ever since Mom and Dad left this plane. Stark raven lady, reclusive her days. Was she hearing all that they say? Cursed or crazy, you don't wanna know it. If life is a burden, you
Okay, now I'm getting more guided like musicals from this. Of like, remember the part with like Emma, not Ella, but Emma, trying to be like, "Why are you all clapping? Help me!"
This entire scene gives late 2000s, 2010s.
I mean, I guess that you know, it kind of makes sense. We are now as far away from the early 2000s as they were from the 80s when they started making theater stuff. So, yeah, maybe maybe they're just adapting the nostalgia they have now. I don't know.
know that you've been burnt or shady. Sanity out of the picture. Whether you want it or not, or you are cursed crazy. Cinderella, Ella, why she covered in filth? It's the remnants of the house of ash.
She never got to bathe after they died. Which, by the way, I scream, you scream, we all scream in a terrible Hellfire the family reunion.
I will say, to be fair, I can't.
Ashmore, more like ashes and no more. Oh, there you go.
I will say I can't think of any exact examples, but if I do recall, I do think it's like a trope in a lot of myths and fairy tales. The idea of like horrible like curses and tragedy and whenever thing and trauma whatever leaves a impact that others can see, and it's like marked to you in some way.
That's just called mental health. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
The guilt she's got, she's overwrought, that paranoid look. Like the town is talking behind her back.
Actually, you're talking in front of her. You're talking to her face.
That depends if she turned. I'm guessing that on the stage she turned away, but the camera didn't show us that.
Lock her away.
Destined to join her mother at the stake.
Weird and eccentric, completely estranged.
Her stepmother must be a saint.
Wait, hold on. What are those? Did you see those at the top there? It's like they're like hanging like paper boxes or something from the ceiling.
Cursed crazy, you don't wanna know it. When fighting your demons alone, you
And I was like,
faded. Destiny couldn't be sicker. Whether you
You know what? That's gonna be foreshadowing.
Ella, is she so fucking nuts?
Oh yeah, Cinderella Ella, like butter bunch. Isn't that right, Aiden? There they are. There they are. Those things. They look like Happy Meal boxes, but without the coloring.
I'm a ghastly sight, but Gaston lights they skin wearing crooks.
That's pretty good.
Gaston light. Oh yeah. I was about to be like, just make sure that sinks in.
Is it too much just to lend her a hand?
Verging on panic, a cat that is strayed. Give it some milk, it'll never tame. So damn dramatic, completely
Oh, I thought we were gonna say manic, because the one before was panic. Oh, well.
insane. Look at the town she's left in her wake.
What means left in her wake? What do you mean? Just you all live there.
You know you don't wanna know it.
Predate her,
Whether
probably.
it's madness or not, you had a bad beat, baby. You
Oh, that was some good choreography there.
know you're stuck with the stigma.
One leg.
Whether you want it or not, your life is not what you pictured. Bedlam is all that you've got when you've been backstabbed lately.
By the way, Bedlam actually was the name of an old-timey mental asylum, with exactly what you would picture when you think of old-time mental asylum.
Your bloodlines couldn't be fair.
And that's why Bedlam is like a synonym for chaos, or possibly it might have been the other way around. Either way.
Whether you want it or not, or you are
Cursed crazy.
There we go. I can say sing Jeff in like every scene, but yeah.
Who is Jeff, by the way?
Well, no
Is
one
because he like I look at his.
I think he's like a narrator-esque character.
Yeah, but who's the narrator though? Because he kind of looks like Peter Pan, but like no one seems to see him.
Well, I think
Well, I
he's
mean,
just
I wouldn't
old-timey
imagine that
clothing.
Peter Pan would serve a narrator function if he happens to be canon to this whatever kind of like universe we're in currently. Probably not, but then again, who knows? He's credited as the narrator. Okay. Yeah. Which, by the way, one thing that I actually am surprised about sometimes in that like for years actually, whenever there was a narrator in a musical that I was either involved with or happened to see, they never actually did any of the singing themselves. It was always the chorus and slash like the main characters as well. But yeah, missed opportunity here. They've
Yeah, I
definitely
think it's interesting because it. Oh wait!
What?
God damn it!
I guess we'll return to that thought.
Okay,
It's a riddle.
Okay, great. Everyone's moving right again. I saw everyone freeze, and I realized, oh god damn it! I was like, whenever I start speaking, no one's gonna hear a thing. No, I was gonna say it's interesting you say that. I feel like the idea of because like in classical stories, right, especially like fairy tales and stuff, you'll have like in 1800s even you'll have like the idea of like a audience surrogate who's really just an overglorified narrator or whatever. And then you'll just have a plain narrator, and they'll be there, and they'll be like a part of it in some way, or at least have a personality to a certain extent. Well, what I think is interesting is, while it didn't ever really disappear entirely, like it was never extinct, it was a lot less common for a long time as well. Like for a good while, they weren't like a big thing. It was just the voice. It was just the omniscient presence or whatever. But I think it's interesting because especially recently, I don't know what this says about the world, but I think that recently we've been getting a lot more of like narrator as character sort of thing.
Well, in this case, I don't think he's an actual character. And if they are going forward with this being,
Yeah, but he is though, because he's singing. If like that was part of, that's why I'm bringing this up, because Jacob brought up an interesting thing where it was like, oh yeah, I guess they were never a part of it, right? They were always just like the speaker.
I didn't say they weren't a part of it. I said they never had any musical numbers.
Correct. Which in a musical, that's the same thing pretty much.
Not really.
I mean, yeah.
Actually, it depends on the musical itself. Sometimes the ones that are pure singing, you definitely feel isolated if you're not like taking part in that. But you know, if there are characters, there's some characters in certain shows that don't sing. Like all the time in Bugsy Malone, actually, even though he has a song in the movie version, most of the boys that auditioned for Bugsy when for the production that I was in auditioned for him because they knew they wouldn't have to sing as him. I mean, he was the main character.
And considering that this may potentially be a new stage cinematic universe thing, they could theoretically, potentially. But they could
the new cinematic universe.
They could reuse this narrator character and just have Jeff Bloom pretty much play the exact same character in each play going forward, just as the narrator in each story.
It reminds me a lot of the narrator the narrators from VHS Christmas. You know, the ones that tied everything in.
Which again, characters.
Me? Toss her in the river for a bath. That is all the help she deserves.
No.
I mean, that would. I was going to say, if it weren't for the fact that she's probably going to drown in said river, a bath would help her.
Please. No.
Good job.
Well, short series, I guess.
I guess Cinderella drowned, Oh, well.
Yeah.
Wait, the TikTok croc got her from Peter Pan.
I'm guessing that the TikTok that you got recommended was probably further into this. So.
Oh yeah, no, it was like I think middle. Maybe there was a tower involved. I don't know. Like I swiped really fast.
You all deserve a pat on the back. Yes.
We have waterboarded someone just now. Hopefully she drowns.
Oh, that happens often, anyways.
What, waterboarding?
Yeah, like I can think of another story, like the story of like the wolf coming into like the home or whatever, and so the kids get like eaten by him, and so then there's like one kid that like survives. So whenever the mother comes over, he tells the story. So then they go find the wolf sleeping. His bullies, his belly fat from the children he just devoured. And so the mother cuts open his stomach, fills it with rocks, and then throws him inside of the ocean.
Yeah, there's definitely a theme in fairy tales of digestion not working as it normally does.
Well, okay, the people back in the day were just really into vor. Okay, they were really into vor.
Okay, accurate technically. All right, we're moving on.
Good job.
Honestly, the best we've ever done.
Best you've ever done? Have you done this before?
How many people do you throw in water?
Well, you gotta think there's
a
no
mother
like.
was burned at the stake for witchcraft. They did say that.
Yeah, I mean, also you have to think like in this era, there's no cameras, there's no fingerprint stuff. It's exceptionally easy to get away with murder.
I mean, there are like a bajillion witnesses in this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But are there though? Like, just go out in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, okay. Again, they'll. Whatever. Yeah. Sure. By the way, before we move on, I forgot to mention this is genius. By the way, you know what? I'm gonna try and remember this idea because now when I write a children's book that has musical interludes and actually like have a company soundtrack, I will. If I ever have kids, I'm definitely narrating and also singing to them at different nights. There you go.
But hark! What approaches from yonder way, with banners streaming and horns blaring?
But soft, what light from yonder phone screen breaks? It is the Eastern Morwenna is a text Morwenna is the sender.
I shall tell thee. 'Twas a great procession, with knights and courtiers.
Prince time. You know what? I'm now picturing Monty Python with specifically like the horse cloppers because they couldn't afford a horse.
Okay, wait. Who do you think plays the prince in this? Okay, let's take our guesses before he appears.
I don't know any of their names.
Time to scroll down. I'm kidding.
I think it's Bill's actor.
The only reason I remember that Jeff's name was Jeff was
Corey Doris. Okay.
I think it's Corey. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I think it was Jeff Bliss. He just goes behind the stage and appears in a coat. That is old school Starkid. We haven't got to Trail to Oregon yet, but these two, they'll see what quick costume changes are like.
Man, we're really edging chat. Chat's really excited for this one.
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah,
who do we think it is? Who do we think it is? Jake,
I would have gone with James rather than Corey, but yeah.
Okay, BB, who do you think?
I don't know their names.
Okay,
I keep saying this.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, Kim Whalen. That's my guess now. Kim Whalen. There we go.
The only reason I knew Jeff's name was Jeff was because I saw Bond freak out over Jeff, and I put two and two together.
No, wait a second. Imagine if it's Nick Lang.
Oh. Okay, but if it's Nick Lang, though, Nick Lang doesn't tend to be in like Starkid stuff for very long. He plays like very minor roles when he's in stuff.
Neither does the prince in the Cinderella story.
Okay, I assume the prince would at least have more of a decent role in this, or at least I would hope so.
Who knows?
At its head was the royal carriage.
Actually, wait, no. Nick Lang would probably be more like the king potentially.
Yeah,
carrying none other than the realm's own charming prince.
Wow, we were all wrong.
Oh, I was right.
Wait, no, hold a second. Wait a minute. Okay, no.
Wait, was that not Bill? Is that Bill?
No, that's James, not Corey. Yeah.
And taste.
I was close. Sort of, not
yeah.
really.
Also, I think he's Dan Dini, just based on like the.
We're pausing every other second. Chat is gonna hate us on this one.
Wait, question though. have I seen Dan in anything? I don't remember seeing him.
No. Dan Dini is in like the character Dan Dini that they add a lot in pantomimes. Yeah.
Oh, have I seen this actor before? Has he been in anything I watched or Starkid? Yeah. Well, who does he play? Who does he play?
Christmas electricity.
Oh, is he only in that?
And grapes and
oh no, several others.
Yeah. Oh, I was like,
but nothing compares to the juice and the hairs of a taste of royal Connie. It's a sweet song, isn't it, Thaddeus?
Oh, there we go. All right, fine. That was it. Wasn't too long for us to not pause. All right, I see.
If you say so.
Oh, okay. So his name is Thaddeus.
Oh, my prince.
Oh, okay. No, he is the prince. Okay, fair enough then. So I thought that he was like playing the prince over because yeah, accompanying bard. Oh well, fair enough. Okay.
Look at their.
Wait,
outfits.
I was right then. I was right. I called it. I knew it was him.
No, look at their outfits in comparison. How could you think? Wait, who's playing the prince?
James.
Which one is James? I don't know their names. And I don't.
Well, I mean, you know one of them. Kurt Mega is Kurt.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
the one that isn't Kurt Mega.
Okay, but like, how could you not think the guy in purple isn't the prince? Okay, he's clearly the prince because he actually.
We already saw how Ella has been disgraced from her previously high status.
Why would the prince be disgraced? Why?
Okay, no, I was thinking that because I imagined that somebody who was like I've seen like bards accompanying royalty in lots of stuff, so I thought, okay, maybe that's what he's like playing him in to some degree. But no, he's playing himself in. Makes more sense.
Okay, apparently that's red, but the lighting.
I still called it. I still called it earlier because I did actually I did say his name first when we were guessing people.
But I mean, are you sure that that's red though? That looks like magenta, but especially based off the lighting we're in, it looks very magenta-y. If I filter out the light in my own mind, I do get red from that.
Yeah, I mean, I see red.
I believe what she called it. Vulgar. She missed the point entirely, Thaddeus. It was a compliment.
Perhaps, sir, in the northern kingdoms, singing over the queen's loins before the entire court is, considered faux pas, sir.
Well, fuck them, then!
Is the queen's name Olga? Because the line vulgar would also make a lot of sense there.
I never wanted to marry that old walrus anyway.
Oh, wait a minute! They haven't done that in so long. That used to be like a staple of Starkid. I'm just making the sound effects.
With her and her frostbitten cunning.
Sir, you must marry someone. And all the great houses have rejected your proposals, despite my prince's many charms.
That's a very high window, so are you Nathaniel?
It's the damnedest thing. But don't worry, Thaddeus. I'm sure there's someone out there worthy of me.
Oh wow, okay. Remember in which oh no, it was guided like musicals. It was Mr. Davidson that like made like a bunch of curves or something. Like way more than a human should have.
I mean, maybe it's like representing like an hourglass body type, maybe?
Yes, in this case it was the proper amount, but I'm just thinking Mr. Davidson doing like 3 of them. But yeah.
Someone soft and kind, filled with such a beauty inside, she's fit to burst.
What?
Speaking.
You want her to explode? Like she has a xenomorph inside her? Oh no.
No, he's talking about like giving birth.
Yeah.
To a xenomorph.
Yeah,
exactly.
He wants those childbearing hips.
Speaking of which,
oh,
pull over, coachman. I must shit in the river.
Don't scream that out to the public.
Ah, this is their meat cute, or should I call it meat disgusting?
Hold the column. The prince needs a shit.
Can't it wait, sire? Your father's expecting you, and we're so near the castle.
Do you want a brown stain on this red robe? What do you mean, Thaddeus?
And strain the royal bowels? I think not.
Oh, fair enough.
Fuck this.
Well, we know what understudies were like. You know, if we watched what was it? Superstar Academy episode 4. They get the person who's not there gets the grades, apparently.
Cursed life!
Ella emerged from her dip in the river. She was shivering and sopping, and for the first time in a long time, she was...
Thank goodness she wasn't still in there when the prince did his business. Like, I was worried for a second.
I'm clean. My skin. I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh, wow. How dirty was she supposed to be before?
Oh, no.
I'm not a
How did that other person, like, recognize her?
creature of soot and sweat. I'm clean. I'm doomed.
Yeah.
Stepmother will be furious.
Don't jump in the poop water.
Skin.
Don't jump in the poop water.
Well, I mean, I would if I were her, I'd probably just roll around in the dirt a little bit, just like get the image back. But, yeah.
Filth.
Ella raced to the muddy riverbank, where she came upon the...
That's not mud! That's not mud! No!
Well, you know, the smell will come back at least.
Ah!
Yeah, you're not wrong.
With his pants
She'll be none the wiser.
around his ankle.
Oh, pardon,
Why did he smile?
sir. I've seen a cock. No more trials today, gods. I beg of thee.
What?
No, if this were an anime, she'd be like screaming now that she can't ever get married.
Wait, please just wait just a moment.
Pull up your pants!
You had to, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess you wouldn't want to be like, like halfway through. You want to be halfway done, right? Yeah. That's like a dysentery. It actually is. You're right.
Oh no. That's because Zach's wife died.
I'm so sorry,
Oh,
sir.
no, no need to apologize. There are many regrettable things in life, but a maiden stealing a glance at your member is not amongst them.
Okay.
Speaking of vulgar genitalia.
Especially when the maid is so comely.
What did you call me?
Comely. Radiant.
Clean for the time, except for your arm. Except your arm. Hide that, but everything else. Ooh, who am I?
Your arm may have some poop water on it,
If our doctors weren't so terrible in this time period, I would say get that looked at.
They may just give you leashes.
Themselves might envy.
I'm getting this like moments of Prince Ahmed. I did not ever tiger. Also, Jeff played Tom as well as normal characters. They cut Man in a Hurry with the characters in a scene with. Wait, hold on. What was that? Oh, so no proofs. Okay, never mind. All right, yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, I will say I did miss Jeff's presence in Nerdy Proves the video. So yeah.
You are too forward, sir. If you'd spoken so rashly in my father's hall, his bannerman would have beaten you bloody.
And where is
Bannerments and Bees they do a lot of alliteration in this,
your
actually.
father?
Can we have an alliteration compilation for this production, please?
Dead.
Good.
Oh.
Then I shall press my luck further and risk a kiss.
That is
on your
not a
neck.
good response to sit hearing that someone's father.
Yeah, okay, yeah, make sure it's that hand. Wait, no, that's the hand that was like rubbing before. No, don't kiss that hand.
No, yeah, just
kiss the other one. She didn't wash that one. Oh, no.
Oh, it's like the bit in SpongeBob whenever you have the famous person showing up and he like handshakes Pearl and he's like super stinky and she's like, I'm never gonna wash this hand again.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes. And then immediately, SpongeBob makes sure that she cleans it with the Bubble Buddy or whatever it was called. Yeah. I was gonna make a different reference. Forgot now. Never mind.
Oh God.
Cannot remember when last I was.
Oh no! Now I remember. Okay, it's also like in My Street season 1 when Aphmau meets Travis for the first time, and she has just sneezed on her hand, and then Travis immediately kisses said hand, and he calls it germs of affection. Yes, this actually happened.
I forgot about that. Oh God. No, I blocked it out of my memory.
Written before COVID.
Spoken to so gently.
He's checking out your assets.
Any other
You know, I think given that we have the musical we watched just before this was Twisted, kind of appropriate in this case.
Hey,
is he also not actually a prince? Is he also just in disguise?
Oh God!
Take off your clothes.
And is he also 30 something?
Oh God!
Oh, well, okay, he might actually be, but there you go. We don't know how old she is, so
she may be an adult.
Yeah, I am guessing that they did not make her 16 in this particular production.
Maybe about my eyes?
They are embers at midnight.
Oh God, don't say embers around her. Don't say embers around her. You're gonna give her PTSD.
It's bad enough that her last name is Ashmore.
And my hair?
Ooh, the gods themselves could spin no
your hair. It still works.
Finer silk. In fact, I have a song I think you might appreciate. Let me fetch my lyre. Thaddeus!
Ha!
Do you need help wiping, my prince?
Ah!
I mean, we didn't see him wipe before he pulled his trousers up, so yes?
No.
Well, I mean, it's kind of too late, probably.
Well, yes, but later.
I was about to say. Yeah.
Oh, my days. Prince?
No, please, rise, my lovely lady.
I thought she was like scared of Thaddeus for some reason, but okay, fair enough. The prince.
A prince. I'm scared.
Well, no, it's more of a case that she was like too casual with him. That she felt like she wasn't treating him properly.
I mean,
yeah.
she kind of immediately saw his penis. So, how much more casual can you get?
I mean, in his case, not much. I mean, she did also, hear him at least, complete his business. According to Bond, he hadn't started yet, but I don't know. He was there before for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Ashmore, a great and noble house. She's rich.
Yeah, see, there we go. Now they're both realizing this actually is a thing that happens a lot in the Cinderella pantomime version. Cinderella, yes, my new legally distinct series
Cinderella.
For an already public domain property. Yeah, of course. No, yeah, for the Cinderella pantomimes, this is actually a common thing where the prince at least doesn't know who she is to begin with, or at least doesn't know about like her, her house. Doesn't do like a whole King Schmebulok thing of like, how noble is a house, and also sometimes, depending on the version, she doesn't know who he is until after they've like already like bonded, they've already fallen for each other, and then suddenly, in a lot of cases, it's Dandini, but in this case, I guess his name is Thaddeus, comes in and like says something to do with that. They're doing that a little bit earlier this time, because normally like after they've already, I don't think that was the part that was specifically like making them fall for each other, although again, it could have been. Given the way they looked at each other, maybe it was actually. I don't know. All right then.
Thaddeus! Not the princess, but not bad either.
Sir, I'm sorry to say, but the Ashmores have fallen on hard times. Their house is in disrepair, to put it delicately.
I don't
They only eat meat with maggots now.
care if the house needs new shutters and tapestries. I want to know if the carpet matches the drapes! Come, Ella.
Sure. Yep. Whatever. Whatever gets me away from my horrible family. Yes, that's exactly what my house is.
Your hair. What is it like down there? Moving
My
on.
carriage.
Oh, I was about to be like, whoa. He would actually say that though. What is it like down
Carpet
there?
matching the drapes. When people talk about the carpet matching the drapes, that's what they mean.
Honor of escorting you home.
I'd much sooner see your home, my prince.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take me to the castle.
Yeah, take me to your house, please. Please.
Mhm.
I'm in danger.
Maybe now that she's a little bit cleaner. This whole the way that she's like the cleanliness of her character kind of would not be like as off-putting. Again, aside from the fact that her arm is currently
Oh, God.
at the side of it.
Her arm also probably has poop water on it, so it's like, Prince, I have soiled your shirt. Oops.
What did I say? Thaddeus, remember what I said before about a brown stain in the red robes? I take it back. It happened anyway.
And be quick about it.
Ella, where are you, you wretched child?
Oh, hurry, we must away.
I swear you'll pay for making me.
I must obey. I have been summoned.
Worry so. There you are, sweet girl. Come to your mother.
Mother, eh? So you must be
Oh,
the
God.
Lady Ashmore.
And you are charming prince. It seems you've
Why do your lips seem so damp?
charmed my stepdaughter, at least.
Of course I have. I'd wager she's wetter now than when she was bobbing in the
Oh, okay.
river. Now, if you
Yeah.
God, Aiden, are you gonna freak out every time there's a sexual innuendo?
I know, but God, Prince, calm
but
down.
this is a post Aladdin reaction. Like, I mean, this shouldn't surprise us anymore.
Calm down,
these soaking
Aladdin.
clothes?
Not Aladdin. Oh, God, I called you Aladdin. Calm down, Prince.
You
God,
know,
you got-
before-
had
you
me
know-
thinking about Twisted. Okay, you're messing with my brain.
Before we watched Twisted, that wouldn't be such an awful comparison. I'm just saying, I think our brain history has changed a little bit since watching that one.
Maybe, yeah. Which, by the way, Cinderella's the one who's been orphaned. Maybe she's 33.
Well, we'll see what happens after that.
I am so overjoyed by what is so clearly true love. But I must intercede on my prince's behalf. You would never know from looking at sweet Ella the severity of her condition.
Oh, fear not, Mum. If it's anything venereal, I've had and beaten it.
It is.
If
It
only the
is.
gods
Yep. Let's go, Prince. Let's go, Prince. Let's go
kind.
make out. You want to make out, right? Let's go make out in the corner, away from her.
No, he wants to do far more than make out.
Is this is this you like saying this as the stepmother or as yourself, Aiden?
No, as Ella. As Ella.
Okay.
Not me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Ella's sickness is one of the mind. She has delusions, you see.
Delusions? Is it contagious?
Yes.
Ella lives in.
Yes, I'm gonna sneeze on you and you're gonna become delusional.
He's more disgusted by that than by the
The
previous
poop
context.
water? The poop water hand?
Also, if he'd said hysteria, I know some doctors that can help with that.
Is demented and dangerous. There's no convincing her.
I studied under them myself. In fact, you know, it had no lasting implications on my upbringing. No, clearly not.
Otherwise, she believes me to be a monster. That I orchestrated the downfall of her house.
Oh, maggot. Okay. Sorry. As I was saying, I am not a monster.
I am 100% human.
She knows.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I ate some leeches for lunch. They're not agreeing with me.
She
Thaddeus is thinking to himself, something isn't right about this.
will never be safe from my terrible reach, even from behind castle walls. Poor mad Ella. She is my curse, and I am hers.
Oh.
Wolf!
Well, in that case, that kind of is more of an argument to separate the pair of you anyway, regardless of, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're right,
by the way, the video
stepmother.
seems to be
Oh god.
slowing down right now, so I'm just gonna close some
Yeah,
things.
you're right, stepmother. I am a curse. How about the prince takes me off your hands, away from you forever?
Because that's not her psychology. It's very clear that the way she
That is normally what would happen in situations like, oh yeah, you know, let's
the way that she ended that was very much
I mean, in this time period, you know, marrying someone off would be like the ultimate.
I mean, that would get rid of her.
I'm getting the feeling that either Jacob or I are delayed with one another.
No, I am delayed. I was saying that
Okay.
before, but you were talking because it was delayed, so I was delayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
Actually,
yeah.
wait, no, you said okay in real time, so I think maybe I'm fine now.
Oh, all right. All right. But no, I don't think the stepmother would want her. Like the way that she's phrased that at the end treats it almost kind of like a Batman Joker thing, where it's like, I mean, yeah, we're arch enemies, but like that's good. That's fine.
This is the same way that the Dursleys, you know, hate Harry's presence, but do everything in their power to make sure he doesn't leave them. Because, you know, reasons. I am just making sure that I'm traveling tomorrow, so I shouldn't be having to, you know, having the internet issues I'm having right now will definitely not transfer, hopefully.
They'll follow you.
We'll see.
They're the disease.
Ah, there you go. I've that is my curse, you see. I'm cursed with lagging. Let's see if it's better now.
I dodged a sword thrust there, Thaddeus. Never lay thy cock in a cuckoo's nest.
Words to live by, my prince. But the Ashmore family tree is tall and strong, with many
I should know. I married into it.
nests that are warm and soft and waiting for a nice woodpecker or a nice swallow.
Is this like her one move to like just like boop someone on the nose and then just like that's the only way she knows how to flirt? This is what humans do, right? This is a courting ritual. It worked on the butcher.
Gads, Thaddeus, this is one thirsty fucking house.
Sir, you should not keep the king waiting.
He's kept me waiting. Oh, just die already, old man.
Ladies,
Did he forget? Did he just? Did Thaddeus work from like one side, but then he left on the other? Where is the cart exactly?
The offer stands firm. Come calling if you are.
Where's the river for that matter, actually?
You. I'm sorry, stepmother. You've spoken enough for one outing. We will discuss this in the privacy of my home. To the cart, damn you.
The ancestral home of the Ashmore clan. Once bustling with retainers, now stood deserted. Decaying.
Well, you had your echo at the start of the show. It's gone now.
The new lady of the house had seen to that. She had many secrets, that woman, the least of which was the poisoning of Ella's father. The others were darker still.
You are a willful child, Ella.
No, stepmother.
And forgetful as of late. What robs the fear from your eyes and replaces it with defiance? Is it this petal soft skin, these ruby lips. Do you take me to be one of your puny pink kind? Your kind who have been laid low by my designs? Well, let me remind
She's not a troll, she's a silly.
you who the master is here, Ella. Let me reacquaint you with your fear.
There we go. Now we get the echo.
The wicked woman cast aside her facade.
That's the double voice.
This was
I like the way it's like cast aside, moves out of the way. Classic theatre.
no mere mask from a farce of folly. 'Twas a skin suit, sewn from the flayed flesh of comely maids and enchanted with the darkest of magics. The Lord Ashmore knew not what vile creature he had led into his own hearth and home. And now that beast, that troll.
Why are you saying ooh, ghosty? What are you implying here?
Ruled in his stead.
Oh no, Angela's dead.
Yes! Scream!
Oh no.
I remember when these hills rang with that sweet music. Those great gray days when the sky was ash and the trolls roamed free. Before the
Honestly, the world bring with music doesn't sound so bad, aside from Pokey's whole deal.
thrice damn sun.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew someone was going to say that. I was going to make the same joke, but I was like, no, I won't bother. The chat will do it for me.
Rose once more, and the manfolk came.
They're
with their
predictable
fire
little
and
monster
steel.
fuckers.
In a manner of
To
speaking.
drag my sisters into the light, and the dawn turned them to stone. Well, I shall bring ruin to this world, just like I brought ruin to the house of Ashmore.
That is a good point. What exactly is her plan going from this point? Like, she's taken over the House of Ashmore, seems to have, like, settled herself in quite nicely. What else does she need to do? I guess maybe she wants to go after the prince and take over everything, maybe, but...
I'm noticing a theme, and maybe it's me thinking too much, but I'm noticing a theme. So, first off, her family is obviously the family of Ash or whatever, but, like, then there was also later on, whenever you had the stepmother talking about how Cinderella is like delusional or whatever, and search about like all the things she does or whatever. But the way that she was moving, she was revolving around Cinderella. And now here, the stepmother talks about a old time before man when the sky was ash.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe this family tree has a couple secrets hidden as far as its age or power or destiny.
They're secretly all dragons. There you go. That's another dragon girl protagonist that hides underneath the long skirts.
Remember, Ella, you linger only because it pleases me to watch your bloodline suffer and serve. Well, serve you shall. Twilight approaches and my daughters will soon rise.
Oh no, not Twilight, please.
Ready your meal. I troll up this house while you're at it.
I think I've mentioned this before, but it is a crime that Starkid never did a Twilight parody back in the early 2010s.
Look at these fucking windows. No.
And again, everyone was already parodying it, so I guess what else did they have to say? Potentially that might have been their thought process, but I don't know.
No grease, no grime. How do people live like this?
I don't like that.
I guess that's why that's why there's no stepsisters right now. Her daughters will rise. I guess they are the stepsisters coming in later. There you go. You know, keeping us on our toes before they lose theirs.
Troll one bit. Give me
You know, I'm surprised they didn't convert Cinderella to thingy. Or, like,
Wait, did the fucking thing just reference Warhammer?
Hold on a second. Wait. I'll go back.
I don't like that troll one bit. Give me 6 sturdy dwarves and a warhammer.
Okay, no, like the actual weapon. Okay.
Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, then. Yeah.
Slain many trolls, have you, Master Dwarf?
Well, not trolls per se, but goblins.
Trollkin is gonna be a full troll.
Goblins, yes. I've swatted many gnats. Should I try my steel on a dragon? One thing is not the other, my little friend. Alas, Ella was now a
Did he just choke?
servant in her own home. She
Yeah, he
toiled in the
choked on his
kitchen.
pride.
Yeah. Which, by the way, speaking of this, before we go back into Ella's part, I think what Aim was implying there was that why didn't they convert Ella into a troll? I'm not sure if that's even possible with whatever like system they're going with, basically, because it doesn't. It seems like if they have to steal the skin of humans to inhabit them, it stands to reason that the reverse is also true. That they would have to use like a dead troll or something to put Ella inside of that, which is probably not where they're going to go. Because
well, I
wouldn't lower themselves that degree.
I was thinking more they kill Ella and then just use her skin and to have another troll in there, or just kill her in general. Just have her die. Why are you keeping her around? Like from a motive.
She said because it amuses her to see her bloodline, writhe and whatever.
Yeah, she already. The entire goal isn't. Yeah, she's not looking for efficiency. She's looking for fun, and for her that means
I guess it's
suffering.
kind of like what the dwarf said. That things happen all in their own time. Maybe the trolls are the same.
To feed the trolls repugnant appetites.
Oh, foul troll recipes. Ugh. We had
Thank you for
maggot mash
clarifying that.
last night. Got some leftover toe jam, but no
Oh, there it is, toes.
moldy
Where do you
bread.
get the toe jam at?
You don't want to know.
Brother, they killed her entire family. Where do you think they're getting toe jam from? Probably
I
from
imagine
the
that's gotta-
corpses.
I imagine that's in limited supply.
What's
Yeah,
next?
like what
Sure,
are they?
yeah.
What are,
The one
oh, by
family.
the way,
you think that's the
by the
only
way, I don't
family
thi-
they've killed?
by the way, I don't think it was acknowledged, but I'm pretty sure the butcher is dead or been converted.
Well, see, there's another set of toes you can take from.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they
the
murdered
butcher's
the
been butchered.
butcher.
Yeah.
And they have like 10
Well,
of
wait.
those
Actually, I don't know. Maybe not the butcher, but the butcher would be useful to the stepmother.
Yeah, but they had adult fun time, and I feel like having adult. I feel like if you have
Brother,
adult,
we're on the butter bunch.
okay, fine. They had the sex and I feel like it would be kind of obvious that they're not 100% human or something's off with their biology because they don't really have the organs. Because when you have sex, you go inside the person.
Yeah. Okay. Not like entirely inside them. Unless he was he was applying, like keen observation. I'm not sure if you noticed the flaws in this, magical enchanted skin suit that would presumably also, simulate, the location of the hysteria demons. Let's say.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know, because on a certain level, I was like, well, they did say it was like enchanted, so
Yeah.
but that also kind of sounded like a cop out. So like, I don't know, because like the outside makes sense, but like whenever we're talking about like
I feel like the inside
forming a whole inside, that's kind of different. Unless maybe the skin suit's like vagina is like actually a portal to like
I will. Yeah. I will also
where
say,
the actual thing's vagina is.
I will also
pussy-
say
pussy portal?
depending on. Yeah, depending on like how much like of sound mind the butcher was during this liaison, he might not have been considering that. Like, this seems more spacious than the average person that I've had relations with. I don't think that's normally. People don't normally overanalyze when that happens. They're usually they're focused on other endeavors.
Wow, this hole is really deep. Now this is what I call cave diving.
Yeah, maybe the prince would say that. I don't know about the butcher. That's the question as to food. Okay, well, let's see about the food then.
A frog? I've never made frog paste before, but it says here it's simple, quick, and serves 4. Step 1.
Wait, do
smash
you
frog.
eat the food too? Ew.
Well, she has to eat something.
Well, yeah, but how are you still alive? You're eating maggots. That'll kill you.
will they?
I feel like eating maggots and that kind of shit will kill you. Raw meat, like you're at least gonna get several diseases constantly. God.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you think she washed her hands before preparing the food?
I don't think they eat maggots. I don't think they care about cleanliness.
Well, she does. She does, but I'm just thinking, like, this time period, they didn't know about a lot of, sanitation. Do you think she would have thought to wash, the filth, let's say, off of her hands from earlier?
With big fucking rock.
I guess, yeah.
Easy enough.
I happen to have one right here, yes.
How are you gonna put a giant rock in a small pot?
By the way, fantastic acting. You saw how she nudged that by accident, and it is clear that it's way lighter, but you didn't question it.
All right.
Come
here, little one.
His little face, frog face. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Take the lid off of a thing, with no preparation, even though the thing inside is known for jumping high.
You sure do.
And being slippery.
Hop a lot, don't you?
That's the problem.
Didn't get you very far, I'm afraid. My stepsisters must have caught you in the
Fantastic name, Jar of Sapphics.
swamp. They're dreadful, aren't they?
Oh yeah, let's have a conversation with the thing that is now able to escape.
Would you mind terribly looking away while I get on with it?
What?
Just go behind or close your eyes.
Huh. Okay, so...
Yeah, look towards the audience. Yeah, make them feel worse.
So I actually... Oh, hold on. Well, two things, actually. This name, perfectly fitting for what channel you just stumbled onto.
I already pointed that out, yeah.
I don't know if this is just a thought entirely on your own or a reference to what I say, but I do think that frogs are the mascots of autism. They just have that vibe.
They do have that vibe.
And to answer your question with the maggots, actually, because I was curious, because I was like, oh, we can eat pretty much anything, except for brain. I do think brain is one of the few things we can't eat. But I went to look for it, and I actually got mixed results. What I ended up finding that seemed to include the most information in a way that didn't contradict everything was that it looks like it's a yesent situation. So maggots are not safe to eat, technically. So they are not safe to eat at the moment, for various reasons, bacteria and disease, infection, whatever. However, it has been shown upon observation that they are a viable source, I'm quoting this, are maybe a viable source of protein, good fats, and trace elements. So, even though we can't currently eat them, food scientists actually are looking for a way to make them edible because they do actually have really good health benefits if we got rid of the diseases and such.
Which is the case for basically anything meat-based.
Yeah, but I don't. But since we're still struggling with that currently, I don't think.
Oh no, sure, she's eating poison.
I'm like, we're struggling with that currently. I don't think she's all right at this time period.
Sure, yeah, I know. I do think that did send me on a very fascinating rabbit hole, though. I'm very intrigued. I wonder if we'll get any developments on on edible maggots in my lifetime. I hope so.
Getting squashed by a rock. This is a mercy.
That'd be another Unasanas video if they did. They've enough bugs on that show.
Yeah.
You want
much to Ethan's chagrin.
Forever with them. I envy you, little Hop-a-Lot.
Don't name it. Don't name it. You're gonna not want to kill it.
I shall be known as Sir Hop-a-Lot.
Yes, it is nice talking to someone.
Oh, this is the classic Cinderella speaks to animals part. Fair enough.
I think about it sometimes, you know.
I'll say having
the
this.
rats is the question.
normally we just kind of like, oh, it's a fairy tale, oh, it's a Disney movie or whatever. So we don't really stop to question like, oh, she's talking to animals, and it doesn't really matter either. In this instance, though, again, I bring back my previous like hypothesis with like the ash connections in the world, and I don't know. I do wonder if maybe that's like a primal ability from like the family tree.
Oh yes, many an ash-based mythological creature have the ability to speak multiple languages. They are, you know, dragons are the polyglots of mythology.
Not necessarily like ash-based creatures, but the idea of like primal, like early beings, going back to like the unification of man before like the first sin or whatever.
If anything, you would think the primal beings would be less likely to speak modern languages. But yeah, fair enough.
Letting them eat me. Part of me just wants it to be over. To be with my father again. But another part?
Okay, I've mentioned in several gacha videos in the past how the music does not match the tone. I'm pretty sure that was deliberate, but my goodness.
A deep secret part that speaks in my true mother's voice?
It actually, that fits really well. What do you mean? Wait.
Yeah,
no,
just
really, I don't know.
They're kind of cooking, yeah. It's like what they're trying to do is replicate like two things in the form of one. So like they're having like the more classic like southern like folky music mixed with, as Colarm has already kind of pointed out, they're trying to do it but in the stylings of like a guitar, like an electric guitar. And then you have the way
the nature of the music,
but then you have the way. I know, and that's the thing though. Like it fits the world, and the instrumental is good, and then not only that, but it fits the scene itself, because the way it starts in the context of how Cinderella is speaking, and the pauses in between, it's trying to replicate the like intensity of a heartbeat, and the like adrenaline, and like
well, I mean, all I know is that the last time that Starkid did a scene like this, it was played off as a joke. Am I the greatest? No, I'm not. Am I the smartest? No, I'm not. Like, yeah, like that song started off like that, and then it went like a huge like break, and it was done for comedic purposes. So I don't know, maybe that was the point of this one.
No, in this case, it's she starts off being like, I just want it to be over with. But then it's like some part of me wants to kill them, burn their corpses or something. It's gonna get a lot.
Man, I think you skipped a couple pages in the script.
Obviously, it's probably not gonna escalate as fast as I did. But you know, that's pretty much the point, Jacob. Like that is the point of the math.
Mine assassin. No, not yet.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like gonna grow in intensity and stuff, you know, and be like, oh, I'm angry. Some part of me wants to just murder them with a chainsaw if we had chainsaws in this time period.
Honestly, Jar of Savix, you get used to this. Like a lot of Butter Bunch statements end up being like way off. Not easy for me, but fair enough. Usually that's like a trope from BB particularly, as far as like making like a really huge statement based on like minimal information.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how that's minimal. That's like a proper like three-way theory, but
yeah, people are talking about how this is timed with what she says, which it's a musical, of course.
I did point that out, yeah.
Yeah, but what I was saying before, I wasn't talking about like the whole song, the song itself. I was talking about like how specifically. I'm gonna go back a little bit further actually, instead of like just before.
Them eat me.
Yeah.
Part of me just.
So this scene seems like, you know, like super vulnerable moment. The music is like very low and mellow, basically.
Wants it to be over.
Wants it to be over, you know.
Oh yeah, but that actually makes it seem even better, because you mentioned how it's low. Well, now I think that it's also like atmospheric. But then
I hadn't finished what I was. Yeah.
But then you have them, and they're representing how she's now the song, right? She's become the focus.
She always was the focus.
No, she was a constant victim of the world and the circumstance.
Oh, what do you mean in terms of the focus then? Because she's the focus of the scene in both cases.
Yeah, as she's making food for others. Like she's there as the first thing on the screen. She's not the focus though. She's there as a primary backdrop. She's becoming in focus now.
I guess from a cinematic perspective, if we're gonna go back again, because I was trying to make a point beforehand, but we kind of talked over that again. So yeah, okay, so she's a little bit further back here. You don't quite tell necessarily between the two of them as the camera's posed.
I think about it sometimes, you know. Giving up.
She is drawing into it, so I guess like a little bit more of like the literal focus of the shot. But but again, I go back to this. There's even though she's doing things for other people, the scene is still focused on her. That's why it was kind of like a strange phrasing from you in that situation.
Letting them eat me. Part of me just wants it to be over. To be with my father again.
That's what I was talking about. Like in isolation, that part there is like a very big tone shift. And the last time they did that was for the sake of humor.
I don't know. I genuinely think
the rest of the song that will compensate for that. I was talking about that part specifically. Reminds me a lot of Ron Weasley doing the exact same thing for the sake of comedy.
But another part? A deep secret part that speaks in my true mother's voice won't let me die. Not before they do.
God, it's very Bastion coded.
Bastion coded in like what? Elaborate on that, please. Like what?
Oh, it's a game. It sounds like the soundtrack.
Oh.
Path was paved, dress was made, princess bride to be.
Who's you in this context? Because we have different opinions.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Probably me in this case. But again, if you go back to
I don't know. I'm generally a disagreeable person.
Yes, but I'm the one that was making like the specific like breakdown points.
And then the day it never came, fitted dude in a suit, now a stepmother for me. And I know now that I am no lawyer, so I'm leaning on natural law. And if it wanted to scale,
you're leaning on natural law when you're dealing with trolls. Good luck with that.
the balance toward my cause. I thank my stars, 'cause I wish you nothing but
Okay, so she actually just answered that question that you had there. Because you pointed out, Obi, you're dealing with trolls, and then she mentions the balance. She's referring to the frog and the troll, the two ends of like the overall animal kingdom. It's nature as a whole.
I mean, that's a definite interesting thing to have frogs and trolls as being like the be all end all of the entire natural world. But okay.
Okay, well, she can't say cows and pigs and fucking zombies and the goblins and still make it sound good. Like I
don't know. She probably could if she wanted to. With this particular song, she probably could get away with that.
She can't go over the entire animal kingdom one by one, including the fictional ones. And then be like, oh, see now it makes sense.
Well, I mean, that's implying she even needed to, talk about the two extremes of the natural world. That's just something that you mentioned. Like, I was just going, I was playing off of you in terms of, she could list the others she wanted to.
No, but like then you said no, but you're dealing with trolls, and as if that was like a contradiction. It's not. What she then followed it up with was the balance. She's referring to the entire aspect of nature, not just the inherently good.
But she's leaning on. Fine. So because of in terms of balance, if like a bunch of bad stuff is happening due to the natural order right now, she's hoping that something good will happen in return. Fine. All right then.
and I want nothing for you but the least, and I know you're wishing that I could be sweet and behave. I wanna step on your grave.
Okay, that was really well timed there. Like, I'll say this. You talked to me before in the chat, by the way, about like the time with the music. Like, yeah, of course it's time to the speech because that's how musical numbers work. Choreography-wise, that's my favorite part, though, of like the boom, 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 like that. Yeah.
Know how much.
Please remember that she's young. That is That we mentioned this before. Actually, we don't actually know how old this character is.
I assume she's like she gives teenager vibe, but
she does give teenager vibes. I'm hoping she's an adult because again, the prince scene from earlier, we've had enough Aladdin comparisons to Twisted. I feel like we don't need any more. Let's just say, unless the prince is also a teenager, but I mean, he's also proposing to older women, which is also would be in his case anyway. So I'm hoping they're all adults in this particular production.
Maggot soup I can make. A cup of toast, a dash of mold, a half a toad. It needs oregano.
See, that's what I was saying before about listing. She could have listed a bunch of things if she wanted to. I just noticed the MacBook in the
oh. Many frog guts a girl can take. 100 gnats, a pinch of rat, one whole cat. To hell with that. I know I might need a lawyer, 'cause I've been forced to break a few legs. And if I
the only way
my effing legs, Grimmy.
The only way that you are wrong about the idea of this being olden times is if this is like meant to be a dystopia. I definitely think this is meant to be like a fantastical olden times. I don't think it's meant to be today or in the future.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it. Again, this doesn't seem like this is meant to be our universe for that matter. Unless we're going to deal with a troll uprising sometime in the future, and maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
I mean, sure, but like the Song of Ice and Fire, like Westeros and all that is also not our universe, but it's specifically designed off of medieval era.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also bear in mind, Twisted was also supposed to be olden times, and we all well, actually, I say we all recalled it Aladdin. I knew going in because I'd always seen it from years ago, but these two both recalled it Aladdin based on everything that he did after admitting he was 33. So olden times only gets you so far, some of the time.
I will say the age gap at least doesn't look as horrendous.
No, what I was saying before proposition was actually he was proposing like older women, because we talked before about this queen that he talked about, like, the vulgar genitalia of presumably Queen Olga, because it rhymes. So in that case, that'd be a bad look on the queen in that situation if he also was a teenager. But yeah. Anyway.
Sharpen my cleaver on this day. Oh, I got names, 'cause I wish you nothing but defeat, and I want nothing for you but the least. And I know you're tripping that I might switch and be brave. I wanna walk all over, lose composure, step on stepmother's godforsaken grave. I don't know.
That is probably for the best.
It is probably for the best, yeah. Well, I'm going to say she was orphaned at 33 because it's funny.
I see you under my feet, so deep where even hell couldn't reach. Lord, give me a reason not to smite these demons with my father's sword and legion. Oh my God, I'ma need you. Help my soul remove these lesions. God.
Hold on a second. Is her father's sword and legion? That's a good question, by the way. If her father had a legion, would it be I guess under the stepmother's control currently? Which, by the way, good step for her plan, I suppose. But also, depending on how low they would remain, if they found out she was a troll, that legion is turning on her immediately.
This is so fucking brilliant, guys, by the way. I feel like no one's gushing about the set and how it's relating to the song and the choreography and everything.
Oh, I only talked about the set. I talked about the set like early on in the production. That's why I didn't mention it again.
God,
but yeah, we can.
And then it's like the idea of like using like the parents as like, oh, the classic trope of like the parents is like holy, and you have like speak with my mother's voice and the sword of my father, which also goes back to the spiritual like Judaic idea of like the sword of God, and you have her like kneeling down and she's talking about hell, and in the background you have the fucking like bars rising like fire as she comes up.
This is another thing that happens, by the way. BB references religion a lot.
So did the fucking musical. Just because, yes, I do, because it's present.
Mm-hmm. No, I just mean like normally if there's a religious theme, we leave it to you to elaborate on.
I'm not just bringing it up for no reason. I swear to God, there's a point every time.
Yeah, every time, every single time there's a point.
Yes.
Well, but one time you were just memeing on us, but most of the time there was a point to it.
I am a bit of a troll, but
yeah.
But no, having her like rise up, even talking about how she wants to like break free and become feral, or as someone said up here in chat, mentioning here it is. I think she just means she's going to do something animal, which is an interesting way of phrasing that, but. You know, there's that, and then you have that like directly correlated with the flames that like burn down her family, and it'll probably be what takes out the step family too. Oh my god.
Yeah, but back to what you were saying about the set, actually, because again, I mentioned the set at the beginning, but actually one thing I couldn't elaborate on because it was the opening number. That yes, the fact there's lighting on the set itself is like an extra layer, because normally with theater you have to rely on the actual lights from above and around you in order to change the mood. That's like universally accepted. But another good idea to add on top of that is to have the set itself also reflect that, so you're having different sources. So yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's also
worth pointing out again for that same reason.
Yeah, I think it's also neat because it's similar to what you brought up. I also like that it's not focusing just on like a spotlight, because that's also pretty common. So in this instance, you do have the back where it's
that is exactly what I was implying.
The trees and they brought upon my...
Well, not exactly. I was talking about like other lights aside from just spotlights. But yes,
they brought upon my house. I was raised to be appraised, path was paved, dress was made, princess bride to be. Oh.
Well, that might still be true.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That might be my favorite song. That's great.
Probably mine as well. As much as I said like at the beginning, which again I only took issue with the literal first notes of this. Everyone kind of freaked out about that. I like the rest of it a lot.
Go. Be free, little hop-a-lot.
But what do you mean? I've remained static. I embraced death for similar reasons to you. Totally. Why did you didn't escape immediately when you let me out of the cage? I could have done that.
I have embraced death. Please put me out of my misery.
Just boil it slowly so I don't know.
Can you like that kind of made me feel like, imagine, you know how like there's a cliche of like when you're like hunting in the wild or something, and then you come across like an animal, you have it like a bow point or whatever weapon you're using, and it looks super cute. It's like, I can't do it. Imagine the animal's like, what the heck? This is like the third time this has happened. Okay.
I can't help I'm this adorable. Okay, just kill me already. God.
The frog is very cute though.
Yeah. Incidentally, let's see. One last thing about that song, as you mentioned here. I will say about the Harry Potter senior year, the Ron Weasley song happens to be my least favorite song out of that musical. But that's not because of the beginning. That's actually because it just like drags on ad nauseum when it's already like made its exact points. Like it essentially like feels like wasting time compared to everything else that happens. This one absolutely didn't. This one, you know. From I was gonna say from start to finish, from second start to finish, had me all the way through. Yeah.
What? Sire, many tadpoles.
Oh God. Well, I mean, she didn't say when. She just says sire, many tadpoles. So
yeah, in the next life. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I'll heat up that toe jam.
Interesting that she went for the toe jam after us just about like cutting off bits of the foot, and after the song where she talks about going feral.
The toe jam was also talked about before that, but so
it was, but her actually deciding on it.
out of the alternatives, I suppose. Yeah.
Ye good citizens of the...
My first cast of Cinderella was that scene arrived. I'm so glad I was surprised. Yeah, we've been doing a thing, by the way, where every new character gets to do is we like guess which Starkid member is playing them. So far, I have guessed correctly once, and we don't know about Fairy Godmother yet. The verdict is still out.
You know, I
Okay,
will
Fairy
say,
Godmother, I'm still holding on my guess with it being Lauren Lopez. That's who I'm
Okay,
saying.
all right.
Who,
Okay,
who do
chat,
you
say nothing,
think? Who do you think? You're not allowed to say chat. You're not allowed to say.
please. Bon is just like, the spoils must flow.
I do think it's interesting. The whatever I was gonna say.
Guess who the stepsisters are played by? Oh, that's another good guess.
Okay, crap. Which actors haven't we seen that we know?
The one who played the old Snatch. That would be a fun stepsister casting.
Oh wait, you know the girl who played the clairvoyant lady in Hatchetfield or whatever her name, the multiverse traveler. What's her name?
Those are two different characters, I think.
I forget. Juice Box Lady. Okay.
Oh, Miss Holloway or Miss Holloway.
Miss Holloway's actor. I think she plays one of the step siblings. Okay.
We have seen her. She's in this.
Yeah, but she seems to be playing an extra, but potentially she actually has a role. So
like this is probably not true, but I would love to have seen Devon Little as one of the stepsisters. Basically, like because like every time she was cast, like you're always the Southern Belle. It would be funny to be like, gosh, I'm like so ugly, y'all.
But I do want.
I just love casting. Yeah, we didn't guess that one because that one caused off guard. Like she just appeared out of nowhere. We didn't have a build up to her, so we didn't guess for stepmom.
Yeah.
But yes.
We'll say. My first thought about casting for Cinderella. Here's the thing. I also want to say so. We've watched a lot of fucking Starkid at this point.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting because I feel like, with the exception of some of the very early stuff, a lot of the songs were sung in a way that feels like a song should be sung, right? So it's always trying to be as perfect as it can be, with a couple small alterations. What I think is really neat about Bryce's take is that she feels like a lot less of a song coming from a character and more so the character of Cinderella herself singing. It has multiple noticeable flaws that I think are done intentionally on top of already good singing that's interspersed.
This is something that I learned about university actually. The acting through song, does that idea does like come through here as far as that goes. Yeah, because that's the thing with musicals versus just like other music stage performers of like musical artists doing concerts or whatever. That's the difference between the two, normally speaking. But yeah. I was going to know was playing before you watched this. Yeah, you weren't here at the start of the stream, but we said before we avoided all marketing for this. Like you notice, like the reason we're doing so many assumptions is because like we are going into this completely blind.
Yeah, we have no clue.
To see yes, we've Aiden has closed down his TikTok. We have not looked at any of the other videos. We have ignored the chat whenever they brought up Cinderella's castle in the past, especially Bon, So yeah, this is our.
So we have no clue. We have no clue about any of this.
Yeah, for other reactions, depending on because I watched Starkid like years before we started reacting to them. So I have seen some of the musicals we haven't got to yet in our roster, and so therefore I'm able to go into a bit more of a deep dive on those ones specifically. But for most of them, we're going in blind. Yeah.
Realm, by order of the old king, in a fortnight hence, these castle doors shall open to all maidens both fair and gently born.
And
from
foul.
that gathering.
What do you mean? Oh, gently born is in like high status. Okay, fine. I was about to be like gently born in this time period.
Our charmed prince shall choose his future queen at this most grand and auspicious ball.
Ooh, hey, Thaddeus, wait, you're too far away. Thaddeus,
I'll come.
No, stay there. I'm coming down to you. Hold on. Wait, I'm coming.
I swore he was about to do like a Draco Malfoy style roll, but okay.
Coming down this way.
I successfully guessed James as a prince as well. He was my first guess too.
Hold on.
Obligatory apple equals Adolf. Yeah, exactly. You know, like Draco Malfoy. He's got it upside down, actually, but fair enough.
Wait, I got it.
Whee! The real James is charming and funny. Well, I assume that most of them are. Like, I don't like to speculate on like their personalities outside of their work because normally, you know, it's a never meet your heroes type of thing. But I like to think that they're all as charming and as funny as they portray themselves to be.
Sure, yeah. I always like to assume that the people that I see online are good. I just know that the likelihood is that they aren't.
Okay. Hey, Thaddeus.
So patience
What
than
did the
Job.
maiden say when
And that's right, there was a religious reference.
she finally reached the ball? What's that?
It probably does, yeah.
That looked like you were trying to like cop up a furball.
Get it? She reached my balls.
Shut up.
She's sucking my cock.
Please,
Are you
shut the
following
fuck
me,
up.
Thaddeus? Oh, yes, sir.
This is this is like how like some people particularly on the main channel like to repeat their jokes in chat even if I've deliberately avoided acknowledging them. It's like, hey, I don't know if he gets this joke. It's like, yeah, no, I got it.
Very amusing. You didn't laugh. Ha ha ha. Huh?
Yep.
Fuck you, Thaddeus.
So here's some sound effect.
Live chat whenever we make a joke.
Ella, where are you? Your sister's starved.
If only.
Coming, stepmother.
So daughters haven't got to physically rise, they will metaphorically, okay.
Yes. The peasantry won't stop mu.
There they are. All right then. I forgot who we guessed was gonna be. They were gonna be like.
Fooling about it. The prince must have his brood mare. So they gather to frolic.
By the way, like,
I do
instead of
like
the deep voice now, all we have instead of the deep dull voice is like.
I do like that the sisters are smaller.
I mean, yeah. Someone had to say Princess Dramatic gay energy. Well, I would argue he has aggressively straight energy, depending on the scene that we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I don't know. Most characters have gay energy, and that's only extrapolated from the fact that most of the people here are actively hoping they do as well.
There's definitely there's a bit of a confirmation bias in certain instances.
And folly. How disgustingly human.
Oh, I think it sounds enchanting. Music and dancing and all those boys. Hundreds of people.
I think it's very interesting that we have a canister of them actually being of the trolls actually being into music. Like that's one thing they have in common.
He's a straight guy with dramatic gay energy. This is possible. He's the answer to all of the straight men into Ryan Reynolds.
I definitely cannot think of any other straight men who have been asked if they were gay multiple times because the energy they exuded is not in real life. No,
certainly not.
Nope. No one comes to mind.
Getting in the same privy shafts.
So, hey Jacob, about your boyfriend, are you guys still going strong? Or?
How did you know?
I heard the castle has a garden. I heard there's a bridge wide enough for 6 cars. I'd hole up under there and no one would be able to pass without answering me these riddles 3.
Right till now.
So there's the Monty Python reference.
What was that about riddles?
Oh no.
We do not like riddles in this house. It implies thinking. Controlled, not think. Which, by the way, was part of Crack Knuckles' whole character arc. But yeah. Anyway, back to the D&D stuff.
Riddles per se? More like conversation
brain teasers.
No.
Yeah.
I'll ask them what their name is and their favorite color.
I've seen her at night.
Ran Silver.
Whoa, what a thing to take out of context. I've seen her at night.
Mm-hmm.
Scribbling riddles in her diary.
There we go.
Don't read my diary,
that makes
you
much more
whore!
sense.
Hey! I did not claw us up from nothing, put this roof over your head, this rotten food on your table, for you to collect tolls under a bridge like your goat-eating cousins. There will be no riddling in this house. It is beneath us, as
I thought she said Ritalin for a second there.
all bridges shall be.
Sorry, Mom. Rancilda
Well, there's rolling opens.
will never be a proper lady above.
No, yeah, I really like the size. Like, they really made sure to make the sizes right. Like, you have, like, God, Cinderella is always the smallest, and the stepsisters are still taller than her, but they are still smaller than the mother.
Yeah, well, at least assuming that, you know, once again, if she wants to go on a raised platform again or a box of some kinds, just make sure she can boot people.
For her.
Oh, what? And you think you'd be welcome, Putris? What do you think the prince would do if you came lumbering onto the dance floor?
Well, I'd be in my skin suit, obviously.
Okay, so you can riddle and I can't?
The humans like their women soft and shapely, like Ella.
Oh, Ella gets everything. She's making me self-conscious. Leave her alone, you bully. I ought to pop your head like a zit. Yeah.
Then you couldn't use her skin, as per Aiden's idea earlier.
Can we, Mom? Can we just kill her?
Oh, could you imagine that, like Act 2, it actually turns out that she never made it to the ball. She was actually replaced by one of her sisters the whole time. It's the dark Hatchetfield endings.
No! Unlike you two, Ella has her uses. The Ashmore family is a noble house. There are appearances we must maintain. I did just receive a letter from the Lord Griswold. He's sending his two whelps to the prince's ball, and we've been petitioned to play host.
By the way, there's one thing that I get like in theater and in you know, screen acting all the time is just it's always like so unnatural. The idea of like walking off into the distance when you're talking to somebody. Like that only ever happens in media.
The Griswold girls are coming here? I haven't seen sweet Justine or vivacious little Lucy since those summers at Honeyhold.
Well, talking about gay energy.
Ella knows we don't have any friends and she's rubbing it in.
Stop upsetting your sisters! Yes, the Griswold bitches are coming here. And you, Ella, are gonna throw them off our scent. That means cleaning this shithole from top to bottom. Removing every trace of troll infestation. The gunk...
Yes, please. I would love to do that. I've been trying for ages.
The grime. The cobwebs.
Wait, I can have another bath. Yes, fantastic.
No! Not my cobwebs! I'm collecting those!
And I suppose I'll have to clean myself as well, to aid in the deception, of course.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I'll do my hair.
I'll sum us together being gal pals. Absolutely. Yep.
And rouge my cheeks.
And your fine dresses? You'll be needing those from the attic.
Okay.
That just been said perfectly and just slays that look. It hasn't been, well, no, actually, yes. When she transformed to the troll, Abby said still hot, so it has in fact been said.
So I lose all my cobwebs and she gets to dress as slutty as she wants?
But so do you, I assume.
I hate this family! No one understands me! Teenagers, huh, Mom?
Shut up!
Oh.
What are you waiting for? You have a whole house to scrub. And you can start by wiping that stupid grin off your face.
Yes, stepmother. I will.
You're not doing it yet.
When I was 4, I'd lay in bed and paint a picture in my mind. Then the next day, I take a pen and make it mine. And through the years, the canvas might have weathered away.
Oh, I like the way she looked at like the packet like as a canvas itself. I can see a 4-year-old drawing on a hanky, not knowing the difference, but yeah.
Painted still hasn't dried. I've been thinking about this day as long as I remember.
Okay, sounds like a Disney song, yes, very broad because obviously, you know, Disney has covered like a variety of musical stars. However, I'm gonna specify that a bit more. Sounds like a Disney Channel song.
Yeah.
Very specifically, yeah. Like if Ella was, you know, a descendant instead of, you know, having the descendants in Descendants. Yeah.
And I've been dreaming about how I can make it last. And if I close my eyes, I can see the best in front of me, and
You're getting change right now, but you haven't bathed again. I assumed you'd been back in the dirt, but I don't know.
endless light, a burning ember. This day will last forever.
When the day
That was amazing to put that on so quickly with the buttons, but yeah. Biggest part of having a summer pop hit vibe, which does to me, yeah. I'll say this: my favorite musicals are the ones that, well, usually are the ones that have like a variety of different styles, like all mashed together. Like I also enjoy ones that are like a very specific like tone to them, because like yes, you know, sometimes that is what you're looking for. But yeah, I found that especially when I've been making musicals, I tend to just kind of like mash a bunch of things together. You know, if some that means that it means that essentially like some like a song will always be someone's favorites, and if they're all of significant quality anyway, then they're going to at least be enjoyable, even if it isn't your favorite genre in question. But yeah.
finally arrived, the house was sparkling, and Ella's heart thumped so loudly she could scarce hear the rapping at the door.
Another heartbeat reference.
Ladies.
The great song is not my vibe. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Yeah, you can say a great song about your vibe, and then some song in the musical will be your vibe, and that will be your favorite one for the soundtrack. You know, it's it works out in those instances. Because otherwise, with like, you know, with ones that are all of similar genre, you're going to be comparing them a lot to each other and being like, well, I mean, I'm not going to bother with some of the others. But yeah.
Justine and Lucinda Griswold, the House Ashmore
Lucinda.
is honored to receive you.
The ladies Griswold are honored to receive your warm welcome. Yes,
Please.
yes, we're all
Please let the one talking right now be Lucinda.
Oh yeah.
honored. Now sidestep the tedious formalities and kiss me.
Well,
Please let it be
to return to
Lucinda.
a point that I made earlier.
Egads, this can't be our Ella. I remember a gawky creature all knees and elbows, not this flower in full bloom. Gods be damned. They gave you the figure I prayed for.
Lucy, the gods don't err.
Yes!
There we go, Lucy. Yes.
Yes!
No one here is going to realize why that makes us so happy. Except Ghosty, if she's still here. I don't actually know.
Same old Lucy, despite
Chaotic bisexual. New alignments.
father's best efforts.
Well, you must be weary from the road. Let me take your bags to your room.
Which, by the way, I guess they're never going to share the screen with the trolls. Interesting choice, but all right.
Take our bags? Heavens, girl, leave them for the servants.
Ma'am, calm down. Yeah, this isn't why am I blanking on her name now from Nerdy Prudes, Lauren's character in Nerdy Prudes? Why am I forgetting her name? I don't know why I'm forgetting her name, but you know who I mean.
Oh, the servants are...
Ruth. There we go. I don't know why I blanked on that. Yeah, Ruth. It's not Ruth, although it could have been.
Well, I relieved them so that they might rest and we might reacquaint ourselves away from
That's where all the toes came from for the jam.
prying eyes.
Fucking servants. They'll sell your secrets for a copper every time.
And yet, Ella shows them kindness. She's as beautiful inside as she is out. Lucy,
At the moment. Normally she's just beautiful inside. Yeah,
I fear we've
okay.
come this way in vain. The prince will take one look at Ella and we will seem...
Justine is so smitten. I don't know. I feel like Lucinda's the most smitten one right now. But
Lucy's first words were "kiss me."
yeah, cut the photos and kiss me. Kiss me, you fool.
plain as cabbage.
Well, the prince can toss his full salad for all I care.
But
Let us
the
leave
thing
the
that can make
proposals
everyone
and...
happy, right? Everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
she's smitten. Oh, she's gay." Here's the thing: all three of them can kiss.
Well, 2 of them, I believe, are sisters, so hopefully not.
Never mind. I forgot about that. I guess I was just like, oh, it's like 2 old like friends or whatever.
2 old friends called the Griswold Girls. Yeah.
Well,
You
okay.
know, I'm anticipating in sometime in the near future there'll be like a video edit of all of the all of like the Griswold sisters like gayest moments or something with like captions at the top. There's a subsection of the Starkid fan base that do these all the time, where they'll have like the captions of like the editor's reactions at the time, where it's like they'll do like something, will be like my heart or whatever, like that kind of thing. They'll just like, and they'll emphasize like whatever action is going on, just to make sure you like can really tell what they're referencing. It's a classic thing that you see a lot of stuff, but the Starkid have really taken it to the next level sometimes. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna tell us off then, lol. I was gonna say we were just having fun with it, lol. No, brother, why would I'm a non-straight trans woman. I don't care.
I'm not gonna tell someone off their jar of sapphics to about making lesbian references. Also, they almost are the lesbian flag. Yeah, I can verify this because I recently made it as a border for a thumbnail. That was an endeavor. Forgot there were 5 colors on it. Anyway. I've done that with Becky and Linda. Yeah, see? Exactly. Yeah, and Becky and Linda are a far more questionable choice as to someone to do that for than several combinations of these 3. There.
Politicking for the morrow. Today, let us be girls again. I want to sing and be silly and run barefoot through the glen. Lucy!
Did somebody say music?
From upstairs. What was that?
Running barefoot in the glen is just so painful sound. Like, it sounds fun until you actually do it.
Yeah, by the way, we talked over this. We talked over this line. She said here that Justine just said that cover your ankles, make sure no one's gonna think anything. I mean, well, Ella's reaction. So I'm giving the compilation people material here.
Exactly. It's like we never, ever dreamed of being. Shall we round the maypole? No, blind man's bluff. Can't reminiscing be something more than sweet. And do you remember our secret language? Of course. If I close my eyes, I can see the past in front of me, front of me, front of me. A blessed sight, being back together. This day will last forever. How tomorrow's not coming now.
And there it is, the harmony.
I'll laugh as much as my heart allows. We're making up for lost time. If only now.
Again, Disney Channel likes to do the repeated lyrics these days.
Nothing's gonna happen next. 'Cause this right here's as good as it gets.
I mean, that is a definite comparison here. I will say that much. Like, this comment here. Yeah, honestly, yeah, mechanically speaking, would be a nightmare to pull off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless you have, like, a large shower, it's gonna be pretty cramped.
And probably also found a way to, like, make sure there's, like, no risk of slipping because, showers are notorious for that. Yes, go Lucy with this music.
I've been thinking about.
For the record, I have hung out with women before. I'm aware of this.
Thinking about this day as long as I remember all my life. I've been dreaming about how I can make it last. If I close my eyes, I can see the
Remember the
best
choreography.
in front of me, an endless light of burning ember. This day will last, oh, it'll last forever.
I think that's one of my new favorite harmonies. I still think that the what we're dubbing the swamp rock song, because I love that as a concept for a musical genre. I think that was my favorite one so far, but this one is probably a close second.
Jacob, this is a good question for you. Did they force you to run barefoot throughout the glen?
No, they did not.
They had mercy on your soul.
They did indeed.
The day was as perfect as she had dreamed. And as the sun began to set,
God, he's so Peter
Ella
Pan
and her two
coded.
dearest friends found themselves in the Wilderwood, beneath the branches of an old oak.
Again, to establish the set, like going to this now, it's not just a case of matching the tone, but we've got the actual lighting for the scenery. Because I can imagine that exact like I've been to I've been to like simulated jungles and/or greenhouses that look like that.
That was the gayest of
These
poses,
woods
by the
are
way, chat.
enchanting. Do you visit them?
Well, we don't know about the narrator's sexuality. That's a whole other can of worms.
Narrator
Every chance I
can
get.
be anything.
There's a reason he became Higgins.
This clearing was my mother's favorite. She was drawn to this old oak. I am too.
Oh, well, then it's the perfect spot for our picnic. I'm hungry for gossip.
Did they actually? Oh. Okay, for gossip. I was about to like ask if they brought any food, but yeah, fair enough. If they brought gossip, then yeah. Get this. We've been overrun by trolls. And I'm not talking about the gossipy kind.
Tell us, Ella, have you kissed?
Of course she hasn't. Ella's a good girl.
I mean, fair. I did see a prince's genitalia as of, today. So things happen to me, but I don't instigate them.
Not. I'm rather wicked. I've kissed plenty.
In your dreams, maybe.
It counts.
I haven't kissed, but I have seen a cock.
Yep, there it is. I knew it. Yep, of course.
Ella, in the henhouse, I hope.
Not I. Oh, spare no
Not a God. Every line from.
detail, Ella. Tell us, was it a steadfast little sentry, or was he asleep at his post?
I didn't get that good a look.
He was defecating in a river. That was not like. Oh wait, you're talking about not from he and not in that scale. Okay, that took me a second. All right.
He was
Istafficon was as hetero in a musical. You're not wrong.
Shitting in the river at the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
how romantic.
Do you love him, Ella?
Well, he was
They ask this question in all other Cinderella versions, and it makes about as much sense there as it does here, but they know it doesn't make sense
Quite
here.
handsome. But he was also quite stupid.
Well, they all are, darling. How rich is he? Should I go wading in the shit river?
Keep your claws off of Ella's stupid man, you awful girl!
She's not awful. She's wonderful. You both.
Yeah, keep talking. Yeah, how wonderful she is.
Forgive me.
Linda
Oh,
Shea.
Ella, what's wrong?
I didn't mean it about wading in the
I don't think it did. I don't imagine Linda Monroe ever going near a river that someone has defecated in. Like, no.
shit river.
Yeah.
A boy will never
She
come
would,
between
she
us.
would
It was
fail, but she would try at the very least to get a restraining order against that river.
Ruth, however, would roam the place for a while.
a jest.
Well, sometimes you just too much.
No,
And Emma will use as fertilizer for her weed.
no, it wasn't that. It's just. I haven't been this happy since. Well, I suppose it all started here.
This was where they burned her. This was the stake is in the corner.
In these woods. Under this old tree.
Ruth,
It's where they found my mother.
the misty spirit of the shit.
Did I just call it? Did I just call it again? Okay, it's not where they burned her, but they found her.
She
All
laid a
right.
dead infant here amongst these roots.
Oh, okay.
A stillborn, she was no murderer.
they spied her dancing naked between 5 great fires. And the shadows danced with her.
This is a fun reference, by the way, because actually, in the Crucible,
yeah, that's why you could
portrayed...
hear me do like a distasteful groan, because we know where that one goes.
Yeah, this is how they portrayed like the idea of inciting witchcraft. Then again, if the shadows dance with her, then but maybe she actually was chanting.
Yeah, this one's probably not trying to bullshit the entire town.
Yeah.
Witchcraft, they called it. And not even my father's good name could save her.
I mean,
again, that's
shadows.
Again, Crucible.
The peasants.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, John Proctor's good name could have actually, saved a lot of people if it weren't for the fact that he had his own demons he didn't want to air, so therefore couldn't really go into that aspect. The actual real life John Proctor probably would not have, that was a bit more complicated than that. But yeah, for the play's sake.
Oh, sure, yeah. The actual like trials were much different than like the Crucible.
Yeah.
Dragged her into the square.
The irony of the Crucible ones actually is that a lot of fears of witchcraft, kind of stem from the idea of women having, having more power, and yet in the Crucible, it seems to be, just like the teenage girls that are just like getting rid of, like systematically destroying all of like the men and rival women in the town itself. It's like, well, they're playing the justice system, and yet the justice, ironically, is favoring them out of fear of what they could actually do.
And burned her at the stake as I watched.
Dancing near flame, like dancing shadows moving the light. Maybe. Oh, it was like 5 different flames. Yeah, potentially.
It was not long after my father grew ill.
Say no more.
Oh, got actual tears there.
Those unlucky days are over.
No. They'd only just begun.
Also, to answer this, yes, very few people had the means or desire to actually study any actual spiritual practices.
No, because I mean, well, if they're demonizing people who do study demonic practices, they're not going to try to study them themselves. That was part of it.
What I mean is also that a lot of people were illiterate. The Salem was a special case in which like women weren't allowed to read, but
I feel like that wasn't a special case for them in that context.
Lest her evil eye be drawn to
sure, but
what
like
do you mean?
Everywhere else women were allowed to, they just didn't know how to.
Oh.
And whose evil eye? Are you in trouble, dear one?
I can't. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you.
Ella, you are our friend. Our sister. Yes, tell us the sky is red and we'll believe it.
The sky is full of ash, as was in the olden days.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we don't really have time to go over this one, but yeah, a lot of this world is built by misogyny.
My stepmother, she's not what she seems.
Everything is not
beguiled
what
the
it
world
seems.
With dark magic.
More Disney Channel.
She
again, the entire plot of the Crucible.
My father and the servants. She ate them. Her and her spawn, my ugly stepsisters. They belong under a bridge somewhere, not in my father's hall.
Well, they do hang out under a bridge sometimes.
They hang out under. Well, one wants to hang out above a bridge and and answer riddles.
Bed.
Honestly, you know what? Let Ransilda tell riddles. That's all she wants in life.
They're monsters, I tell you. They're trolls.
I knew I smelled something rotten from the moment we arrived.
Really? I thought I cleaned this place thoroughly. I mean, yes, that was exactly the point.
You believe me?
Oh, my dear. Our bastard brother hunts trolls. Yes.
Wow.
We are all familiar with their character.
This is actually a very good point. Like in a world where trolls have potentially been known to exist, maybe not like in the guise of humans, but if they've been known to be a thing in the past, it stands to reason that people wouldn't be like, wow, trolls don't exist, or you're making all this up like in privates.
You silly woman. Trolls aren't real. You're crazy.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that. It reminds me of this one like red dwarf joke that they had in what was supposed to be the series finale before they made more. It was that Rimmer had to go through a mirror dimension to sort of memorize an antidote for a virus because it was a mirror dimension. So every time he went back over, it was the formula of the virus. So he had to memorize it specifically, and he spent 30 minutes memorizing the name of this chemical. And then when he went back, everyone was able to quote exactly what the chemical was, and they all knew it was like a very basic thing. That was the joke. It was like, oh yeah, you think they wouldn't know this thing is like but then again, it's set in the 23rd century. Most of it, 3 million years also. It's in the 3 million and 23rd century. And in the depths of space, they probably would know a lot more basic stuff that we would consider science fiction or made up, obviously.
Stench. Oh, then,
Yeah,
then perhaps after the ball, you might smuggle me away back to Honeyhold?
After the ball, are you mad?
At nightfall, the trolls will wander free. We'll leave straightway before the sun sets.
Thank you.
Or midnight, depending on what you decide later.
Thank you both. Oh, the gods are good.
Yes, they delivered us here to save you.
Did they? Or did they deliver you to me on a silver platter? And what's this I have here?
A crossbow!
Yep.
Lucy!
Yeah, I figured.
No, not Lucy!
Stand up, Justine. I want a clear shot of that top.
Wait, hold on a second. I had to go back. 1 second.
At nightfall, the trolls will wander free. We'll leave straightway before the sun sets.
Thank you. Thank you
I had to
both.
check something, but
The
also,
gods are
wow.
good.
Yes, they delivered us here to save you.
Did they? Or did they deliver you to me on a
Also, piano sting now at a different key.
silver
Love that.
platter? And what's this I have here? A
Crossbow.
crab fork.
Okay. Actually, there.
Stand.
Okay, for some reason I thought like the arrow where she like fell down actually was not there, like it didn't move with her. But yeah, like anyway, anyways, back to the reaction. What? No, Lucy, why her?
Stand up, Justine. I want a clear shot of
I
that
figured
top.
something
Just-
bad
I care
had
about
to. I didn't think it would happen
I don't
right
wanna-
that second, but I figured something bad would happen to them at some point, just because I
I
knew
would've-
the ball
yeah.
had to happen.
I would have. Yeah, well, the ball has to happen. Well, I mean, yeah. Dude, if they're saying after the ball, so it would have happened regardless either way. But I could have pictured like them, potentially like being found dead, afterwards, as they had a plan of some kind. So they were found like dead at the ball, maybe. But yeah, okay, I guess kill them off right now. Okay.
Well, no, they were gonna leave earlier than the ball, because remember she was like, "Oh, let's leave after," and then Lucy's like, "After the
Yes.
ball," and then the other
Yes, I
girl's
know,
like,
but they'd have to arrive at the ball regardless.
Justine, run! Get away from this place! I won't leave you!
No,
Well,
run!
you won't leave her.
Run! Run!
Like, okay, I get grieving for your sister. I understand that, but again, there's a troll with a crossbow pointing toward, sort of pointing towards you.
Run
Mostly
for
pointing
your
towards
life!
Ella! Stepmother, please have mercy! Stop! Why?
you. Wow. Okay. There's a thing that happens a lot of the time with like in with like any action sequence. Why is it that they always have it so the female characters go down so easily? Like they'll either do like a push, like a something like that, or they'll be like to the side, it's go like like that. Like that is not how it works.
I have been backhanded by a troll woman. Whatever
Yeah,
will
or
I
like
do?
Well,
Or,
okay,
like,
if it was a
mildly
troll, that
shoved.
would actually be very understanding, but Jacob's referring to the trope in general.
Yes.
Gifted you this happy day, and now it's time to turn out the light.
Lucy?
You'll see her in hell, Justine.
You were pretty stupid for just staying there. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
no,
You
I'm
were
sorry.
very dumb. Like your sister was caught off guard. Okay, that's justifiable. But you were just kind of sitting there on the floor. You kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
being
So,
so dumb.
so once again,
Oh,
no,
holy
Lucinda!
shit. Oh my god, I just realized what they're doing. Oh my
Okay.
god. These are the stepsisters' skin suits.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, yeah. That's why they didn't share the screen, because if they were playing them anyway, All right, nice. I do like that.
They're gonna. Oh my god,
That's why we couldn't see. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Yeah. Exactly. I'm with you now.
Ah, you monster! I hate you.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
You have no heart. You shot Lucinda
with a tanner's blade.
Lucinda.
The wicked stepmother flayed Ella's poor friends like common game.
Didn't she know them for like 5 seconds? I mean, I guess they're kind of friends, but like.
What do you mean she knew them beforehand?
Oh yeah, no, they were best friends.
Oh.
Yes, they're making up. Part of the song was they're making up for lost time. As I will say this to the chat, as much as we pause during the songs, we are listening to the lyrics of them mostly.
She stitched 2 more suits of human skin.
Yeah.
Beatrice! Gransilda! I have your dresses for the ball!
I mean, those are more than dresses.
Yeah. I kind of thought they might have had skin suits to begin with, but maybe they didn't find someone that was fitting enough for them. I don't know.
Where do my arms go? Not there. Right.
In the arm,
they go in the leg hole.
In the literal arm holes. What do you mean?
They go in the leg holes. You know, that's where your arms.
Can you imagine if they just like appear? They're both doing handstands.
No, you're so right, Michaela. At least between the 3 of you, one of you will have got something to fill the others. Dude, we are the equivalent of one shared brain cell.
No, this happens all the time. One of us will catch something, and the others will follow suit. It was BB's turn today.
The end of you is too tight.
Oh, okay,
no,
you personally.
You're too fat.
Go ahead.
Now suck in your gut. Suck it in.
Don't make me get a corset for you.
It probably would have had one anyway. Like,
yeah,
I would
that's
come
probably
with
just
the dress. Yeah.
Come out and give your mother a twirl.
Oh yeah! Look at me! I look fucking sexy!
I think mine's on backwards. And what are the tits doing all the way?
I mean, the hair is probably. Anyway.
Don't touch those.
You gotta shake your hips like this. Yeah, humans like a
The irony, of course, is that Lucinda probably would have done that to herself anyway.
nice swinging ass.
No. Stop it. Okay? Close your legs. Close them.
That's
Stand
because
up.
we're
Close your
also
legs. Dang. Great.
And she's showing her ankles too, like Lucinda was before.
Oh no.
That was epic foreshadowing. Sorry, yeah, back to this comment.
Yeah, Jar of Sapphics. Y'all pause the most out of any reactors I know, Lamau. We talked in extent last stream, so I'm not going to go over it all, but simply put, it's better for the original content creator because it's more of us than it is them. Second off, this also is a review, not just a reaction. So,
yeah, because most of the regulars here, like they've been around for long enough to know what the deal is. Yeah, but yeah.
No, it's just because you were not the only person to make that observation, so I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Stick your chest out. Good. Now,
no change was applied.
push your lips like this, like a duck.
Like, oh god, duck lips.
Ah, yes, we're back in 2013 now. It really is Twisted. That came out in 2013.
Uncross your fucking eyes. Straight.
This is why you should have given them skin suits earlier. Let them roam around before the ball happens now, like you're able to do.
Okay.
They would have had practice.
Not
and would have styled their hair correctly.
bad. It's rather good, I think.
Yeah, everyone's gonna want a piece of this. Mama's hungry for
Everyone in the chat wants a piece of that, so you know, I mean, I guess.
We can't find a single good still. We desperately try. There's nothing. We gave up eventually.
That is to Starkid's credit that they are like constantly like no matter what frame you're on, like especially if it's a live performance as well, like no matter what is going on, they are still like always delivering something. Yeah.
Up.
Sweet little Justine wouldn't show her ankles. Griswold would never. Okay, yeah. Yes, that's true. But in the case of Lucy, she was like lifting... Rancilda was lifting up her dress constantly, so, you know. I mean, that one fits. Kind of.
Our foolish prince has sown the seeds of his own demise. His knights and bowmen will serve him little when we outflank them in the bedchamber. Come, dogs. The ball awaits.
Before we begin this one, I'll say the only issue I have with the start of this song is how loud it was, because I kind of somewhat drowned out Angela's lines. Yeah.
This one we're on the same page.
Although this song now, I'll say this for both of you, reminds me a lot of Dirty, dirty girl, won't you sing for me? Just a little bit. Dun, dun, da 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 da. I forgot the lines.
I skinned my suits. I filleted my fish. Oh, yeah. Don't forget.
Oh man. Oh, I love that. You have fucking whoever's using the pink suit. I forget the one that's not Lucy.
Yeah.
Whoever's using that, I really like it because if you paid attention to how they were just dancing a little bit, they were trying to like make their body really contort and be like weird and freaky in the back.
Yeah, I completely buy that they are not used to inhabiting the bodies that the actresses obviously have had for their entire lives. So, yeah.
I just plucked them out of the shaft.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even when they're being dissonant, they still have the harmonies.
Isn't it a bitch?
I look good in this. My facade won't let me down. No one notices that my soul is inside out.
I'm just looking at Angela's face constantly. Like, that is the best part of this.
What you see's not what you get.
And of course, as I say that, she walks out of frame, but there you go.
A booty trap for other boys. One look, they all come running. Who knew something hot could be slumming? I'm up
A lot
on
of people,
top,
but yeah.
you're under the bed.
This is also very true, yeah. Like, Angela's facial expressions and line delivery are second to none in plenty of instances. Mainly when voice cracks happen, which haven't been the case in this particular musical, but just in general, that's a statement about Angela. Who isn't? Well, yeah, I was going to say Abby, but there you go. I feel like a lot of you are looking for Angela's face for different reasons than I am, but there you go.
You wanted a dump, but you re-destroyed.
And then mocking the choreography of the last song. Ah, that's why you told us to remember the choreography of that. Yeah. If we'd been told to observe that before, I would have memorized it a bit more, but yeah, fair enough.
My statue's got you stuck. This flesh has got you fucked. And I hear your
And that one, yeah, that was particularly was the one we saw before.
rich. I look good in this. My facade won't let me down. My truth is skin deep and ugly. No one notices that my soul is disavowed.
I'm impressed that people like observe that, and they said they've been out for 5 days as the time of us, making this, or 6 days really, but 5 days by YouTube.
To play the part
Until I break your heart. No.
Oh yeah, someone mentioned this before that the wigs were apparently made by a drag queen, which is an interesting fact. But I also I'm impressed that a drag queen was making her own wigs, because I mean I'm sure that happens a lot, but you would think that for a lot of them it probably would have somebody else do that. Oh yeah, okay. Best bridge of all time coming. Ah, well, they are trolls after all.
tits back.
Okay, yeah, right.
Well, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Stitch up lips,
Yeah, this is definitely a drag queen number now.
knees pumped, toes jammed. Girl, you know I'm stitched up.
they're not even like emphasizing the body parts that they're talking about.
They don't know what those parts are.
Then why are they they're able to reference them by name?
They were told that's what men like.
It's made for TikTok. I mean, yeah, true. Wait, Aiden, was this the scene that you saw on TikTok?
No, I think the main protagonist was calling out to someone. Maybe.
Okay, well, hey, before you explain it, is it a section we already saw?
No, but I didn't
Okay,
even.
well,
I don't even know what I saw. I don't even know what I saw.
No, that's cool. That's cool. We're good.
Honestly, a main character calling out to someone else is about as vague as you can get for a spoiler. So that one's not bad.
Don't worry, doll. The fix is in. Where do I end?
Chest back, lips bent. That makes sense to you. I mean, you can in fact bend your lips and I guess move your chest back. It's clumsily phrased, but not technically impossible.
Yeah, I mean, you can't move I guess the bones out of your body, but I guess you can bend a little.
My body begins, cause everyone knows that the beauty's within. I look good in this, my facade. I look good in this, my facade. No one notices my facade. No one notices my facade. I look good in this, my facade's a wicked gown.
That's what I was saying before.
Till it all comes crashing down. I'm gonna play the part until I break your heart.
Ella! I'm afraid I made an awful mess when I was skinning your companions. Take what's left of them and put it in the ground.
Jesus.
What is left of? I guess they're internal organs, maybe. Yeah.
Do you like the song?
Yeah, they'll say the muscles and all that over. They just need the skin.
Okay, this is the first time I've heard them react to a song they have just done.
We sang it once, and we sing it once a day, not twice.
Well, that's like a daily thing. It's a daily thing. Oh, okay.
I have said before that when you have something good, you don't want to overdo it. So I get that. Yeah.
Ella did as she was bid, dragging the poor Griswold girl.
Everyone, that's the thing with the phrase that was within. Okay, as much as the lyrics, was that part of the original song?
Yes.
Because I didn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't remember that line specifically.
Into the dark.
Because it made more sense for them, because obviously, their whole thing is they don't think humans are beautiful at all. They're just,
To the wood.
But yeah.
To a mother's clearing, beneath the old oak. Fate drew her there. Or perhaps something stronger.
A fairy godmother.
Or a fairy goddess as well.
Justine.
That's true. They mentioned the gods quite a bit.
Well, I said fairy goddess because I looked in the description before. They say fairy goddess in the description. But yeah.
Lucy. I'm so sorry.
You died.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
What's happening?
The earthquake.
I've said before and I'll say it again. I love what they do with the cameras now these days.
Something stirred.
Last song of Act 1 was the end of Act 1. Wait, that means I got it right! Because our video portion is about to end! I got it right!
Let's go.
From its ageless slumber beneath that old oak. Something Ella's mother had failed to rouse with the many prayers and offerings. For it was not witchcraft that the Lady Ashmore practiced, but
no, it was actually just photorealism.
The mysteries that honored the goddess of all that is green and good.
I mean, a lot of what people perceive as witchcraft was honoring the goddesses of things green and good, but okay.
Holloway. It's a Holloway.
Okay, you're saying I'm guessing quick.
I mean, that's actually pretty fitting based off what
when the innocent
played in the Haddonfield show series.
Yeah, I'll say this now. Based on where I scrolled down the description, Lauren Lopez was the third name in the credits, so I knew that she wasn't the fairy goddess. I just didn't say anything because I didn't want to,
The Lucy Justine sept into the soil. It trickled down to the goddess, scorching her like burning pitch. Her all-seeing eyes fluttered open, and the fairy queen of sweet dreams awakened once more.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you.
Yeah, see, it was actually Aiden that played this character. This is just Aiden's skin suit.
It would feel so wrong if this character started singing anything of that style.
Honestly, you know, if we meet up in real life at one point and make a musical together, we need to cast Aiden as a character like this.
Listen, I would be amazing as it, you know?
Kim was an obvious choice for the goddess. I mean, come on. Counter-argument, Chorn.
Open your eyes, daughter of fire.
Open your third
Now
eye.
the reflective voices are back.
The light, it burns.
Yes, let it burn away the last of your tears.
What?
This is so sick.
I am Fae. I am God. I am Mother.
Wait, she is Mother!
Hail, Mother!
Oh yeah, wait. Oh my god, 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 wait. Oh my god, wait. Oh, I get it.
Yes, we all got this one. We all got that.
No, not that.
No, you're talking about something else. I just wanted to reference the chats because I knew you were going to take a second because you process your words. So I was like filling in the time.
Oh my god. Okay. So this whole thing has been about like the fire and all that. I've talked about that quite a bit. But I mentioned earlier like the idea of like the parents as like a divine figure. In the idea of like her like working with the fairy goddess. I speak with the voice of my mother.
Well, I mean, I guess the voice of a mother of some kind. I guess
So
that probably
now she needs the sword of a father.
Yeah.
Sword.
Yeah. She needs some kind of weapon, most likely. Yeah. Mother, we see you, Starkid. This is why Aiden was not far off with the idea of Lauren Lopez making sense here, because that is essentially what Linda wanted to happen to her. So, we know that Lauren has this character in her somewhere, just not today.
Phaedra,
Just not today.
goddess
Yeah.
of love and light.
Phaedra, I know not this name, and I know a great many things.
Her statue.
I mean, okay, sorry, you're the wrong one. I'm gonna wait here for a bit. Yeah,
I do
Can
love
you imagine
big tall
a
women
whole
as
line
Dewey.
of gods emerging, being like, "Was it I that you summoned?" I don't know. It doesn't seem right. Okay, next one.
They're lined up like you're in a police station trying to figure out who the suspect is. Now, which one of these people is?
Why did we have 5 different flames all activate at the same time? Not since the Sillies have we had this. Oh yeah, I forgot. There are new people here. The Sillies are what we call the Lords in Black. I wasn't there for the stream where that became
And Webby.
so I don't know why it happened, even though I saw the VOD. But yeah, we've been saying that.
I also forget, but I'm gonna be honest, they're just the Sillies now. I could not care less what their actual canon name is. It's the Sillies.
Yep. Yeah, it's just the Sillies. It would make a good sketch. Exactly. Yeah. I didn't need to see the way the chat reacted to I heard the audience.
Statue stands in every church beside the 9 good gods.
Gods are not good.
No, you know who else would have got this reaction, by the way? You know who else would have got this reaction? Joe Walker. I know he doesn't do theater anymore, but I remember when he performed Stutter, like he got a screen that was a similar one to this when he did a live concert version. Imagine Joe Walker emerging as this character with full Prince Ahmed persona. Anyway, the first time Starkid fans saw it was on a live stream and everyone had a collective meltdown. I got 5 comments about her hair. It keeps coming back. It's like the same character.
Nor evil. They simply are. and they are beyond your judgment.
Or Darren Criss. Well, I mean, Darren Criss. Well, first time they saw him, actually, there was pure silence. Actually, I because that was before he had as much of a name to himself as he does now. So, you know.
Where's Cisco? I need Cisco.
You know what I need?
Same idea as Cisco in this case.
Where's Mr. Ramone?
He also did not have as much of a name to himself as in fact, that's not even his actual name. I forgot what his actual name is.
I'm calling him Cisco, okay? Because he played Cisco on your Flash. He's in Wayward
No, I know.
Gun.
I know why you're calling him. I called him Cisco earlier too. I just because someone pointed out to me because bear in mind, most CW shows did not make the airways in the UK and Spain, where I have lived for the past 11 to 12 years of my life. So so when people pointed out, oh yeah, was that him? It's like, I have no idea what you mean. I'm going to say possibly yes. I recognize Sean Astin. That was an important thing. As if Dad if he made a Starkid comeback. That is true, and also did happen on some like concerts that they have done in the past, where it's like, you know, man, I'm glad I'm back and such. Yeah. Thank you. There we go.
Yeah, Cisco, exactly.
Apparently, this pickup when he called himself Mother, the audience went wild. Yeah, okay, in that case, yeah, I see why. See what you did.
It's a thing online. I honestly, I don't even fully get it. I just know people call certain people like Mother. It's like just a thing. It's like, but I am...
You get it. It's the same reason.
Also,
you call
why
daddy.
I guess Jamie Lynn.
I mean, I thought people called people mommy to equal daddy.
Well, they do. But also remember Sheldon Young. Actually, he said that. It's like, "All hail, mother, mommy." Like that was his quote. And who played Sheldon's mother? Also Jamie Lynn Beattie. And thus my guess at the beginning before Sean, aka Jamie Burns, also made sense. Again, it's not always the obvious cast because there are so many that you could say would be obvious depending on what you're drawing from.
Forgive me. I have seen many gods rise and fall.
I also like how she's not looking
the sillies.
I don't think this is in the same multiverse, okay?
The sillies haven't fallen yet.
They will eventually. Can they even fall realistically?
As long as Grace Chastity is around, probably not.
Can the sillies fall? I need the lore of that. Like, can they actually be defeated?
Webby could ground them. Maybe.
I still want the Black Book.
Webby? Oh God, BB with the Black Book sounds awful. Don't get.
Hey, what? You don't trust me with godlike power?
No, I don't trust you with that power. You're gonna be worse than Grace Chastity with that power.
I would do so much good in the world.
No, you wouldn't. You would destroy the world faster than help the world.
No, I would help. I would cleanse a little.
You're gone.
Oh God.
You know,
roll with them. Don't give BB the Black Book.
Yeah.
He will destroy everything.
You know, first people I'm going after, pedophiles.
Okay, not a bad choice.
This is just Death Note now. You're becoming Kira.
No, here's the thing. Like Death Note musical version, he's so understandable. Honestly, I kind of agree with him a little bit in the musical version.
Oh, okay. All right then.
I have not seen the musical version. Is it good?
It's great. Yeah, the character it gets the same beats and all that, but the way they deliver it is a little bit different.
I believe in BB. It was meant to be BB Black Book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. But also lore dump here, not for Starkid, but for us, the Butter Bunch. The way that I met BB was actually on the AFMAL wiki in the fun and games section where there was a role play that we were working on. There was like a sequel to what there was of My Street at the time. I think we started around like season 5 actually. Yeah. And BB's character, she came in, I believe her name was Ben actually.
Ben, yeah.
Yes. And it was revealed pretty quickly that Ben was actually the son of Afmar and Aaron, and also had access to the Necronomicon.
Oh God!
Yes, like
no!
Ben possessed the Necronomicon. So Yeah, like beforehand, there were like several people who were like coming and going. I tried to streamline things a bit and like make a group project for everyone, so they had like a bit of a focus rather than just introducing themselves. Pretty quickly, the only people like caught on to that included BB actually. So the whole Necronomicon thing quickly became like one of the main focuses, and Ben Lycan became one of the central characters of the rest of the series.
I showed up late and then became the main character.
Essentially, yes.
Just like
in my true fashion, I was multi-rolling, so we both fulfilled our
I still wish some of those people never left. I would have liked to. It's weird. It wasn't even an important story arc, but I still wish we got something out of the sleepover.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, well, it was several group projects too. It was a Spanish like group project, but we didn't see that. I was hoping for multiple, multiple connections. My plan was that for them to be in groups and to like be able to roleplay off each other and like and actually develop their character a bit more than their introductions and have and so they can have that focus. But yeah, only one situation happened. It was partly me because I thought, okay, well if Ben is a thing, therefore Alina must also exist. So I'm going to become Alina among other characters. And Alina became one of the main characters that I played in the rest of that show.
Though, how did your character actually get the Necronomicon?
I don't remember. I would have to go back and look. I don't remember.
I would like to purchase the Necronomicon.
I don't remember the complete story. I remember bits of it. Like obviously there's like an incomplete sleepover that was meant to be like in the next episode that never happened because the people that were going to do it left. At
one point, someone got kidnapped. I think it was Aaron who got kidnapped by Ian and also Cole. I was trying to introduce Cole as an idea because I knew that Ian was going to be, have other stuff happen in season 6. So
I know
people added him, so I was like, I guess I gotta be Ian now as well.
Yeah, I know Ben had anger issues and then got like a heart-to-heart with his Spanish teacher, Senor Sand.
Yes, which was a character that I was recycling from 2015 from my main channel, and I just tried to bring him in there because it's probably more palatable when you can't hear what he sounds like. So yeah.
Don't mind us, chat. We're just reminiscing.
Exactly.
I wasn't there for any of this, though.
Yeah, you've all seen this. You all know this story. You're hearing our story now.
No, actually, you're so close to the end of the act, guys. Rein in that ADHD. I believe in you. Yeah.
Normally, I'd be like, I would love to tell more of the story, but actually, to be fair, I do have a bus and train to catch, so but not like super urgent. I just need to like clean up and pack and prepare. So
important stuff is about to happen. By the way, attention is required. Okay, everyone, look at the hot woman.
Until she goes off frame.
False or lies from the race of men.
Please, no more. I have suffered so much, and now you take the comfort of my faith. Be gone, spirits! Be gone!
It was you who summoned me with the blood of the innocent and the righteous fury in your heart. 'Twas the beacon that guided me from my prison in the realm of death.
Oh, prison in the realm of death. Oh no.
I shall repay thee. Tell me your sweet dreams, child of Ash.
Okay, I want you to murder my family.
Shut up. Hey, shut up. It's full attention.
Mm-hmm. Those indeed are sweet dreams.
What is thy desire?
My desire? I want only for the world to be a good and kind place.
You would lie to a god. Your pretty words are chains.
I heard your Swamp Rock rendition from before. It was a very catchy tune. Do not deny your true self.
I wanted to make a comment here. I was gonna wait until we got through this, but since you already paused it, this bit where she's like, "Oh, I want to make the world a better place," and the goddess is like, "Oh, don't lie to me." That's very much Nerdy Prudes Must Die summoning the sillies, where it's like, "We don't care about your fucking phone," and then it's like.
Okay, so I actually have 3 things to say right now about the hot woman. So, all right. First of all, I was saying before we got distracted by the whole reminiscing, but I like the fact that she wasn't actually looking down at all. Like you could tell, like her stare was like further, like distant, like looking straight forward. Just no need to look down. You must gaze upon me instead. Second thing, I like the way that she has more fingers, I suppose, but kind of like branches essentially. Like that also makes sense. And now, third thing that I'll say, because it's just for right now, this is the first time I believe she has smiled. Now that she's getting to see, like, okay, I want the real answer. Give me the real truth, and I will enact something. I will be your warlock patron.
Yeah, it should be noted that this is not entirely accurate, obviously, to like actual Celtic faith, but it should be noted that like the Fae are nature spirits that are known to be particularly mischievous, very tricky.
They steal babies.
Depends on which type, but yes.
And then sometimes they'll replace baby with a changeling.
Well, I mean, maybe that's because, like, remember, remember the mother lay a stillborn infant in front of this very tree. So,
yeah.
You know, maybe she took a baby in some way.
Step them aside and tell me, what is thy desire?
What do you want, Paul?
Revenge!
Yeah, baby.
Revenge you shall have.
Yeah.
I give unto thee these gifts. Use them well.
Give
Deliver
me
our
my anger.
fire to those who have forgotten us. First, a knight to do thy bidding and slay thine enemies.
Sword of the Father.
I have seen what passes for a knight in this kingdom.
Oh, well, okay, knight, not knife, but yes.
There is no man I would trust.
Not a man, my lady.
Okay, I also knew about this because of the description. And I would have guessed him as casting because he was a puppeteer.
Is that the goddamn frog from earlier?
Yes. Remember in the description I said there was a frog knight involved in this? Yeah. This
Question though, how does the frog have a mustache?
I was going to say the same thing.
I'm like, how does that work?
I think that's the frog she let go earlier.
But how does
he
have
actually
a
called
mustache?
up a lot? I said that as a joke earlier. Is that his actual name? See, sometimes we're ahead of things. Sometimes it comes round. You know, BB.
Also, BB, when you weren't here, I mentioned before you came here that I mentioned the fact that this gives me vibes of Starship with the way they're like people are standing behind.
Oh, absolutely. Like yeah, very much bug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we talked about that specifically with the dwarf because that was obviously puppeted by Joe Richter as well, so it was a more direct comparison. But yes, in this case, also I like how the puppeteers also dressed up.
Yeah, that's the big difference. Actually, they didn't dress the puppeteers last time.
No, which is not a very common practice in theater at large. But I think they've noticed now that because people are looking at them anyway because they're Starkid, so of course people are looking at them anyway. They might as well go into that. Yeah,
I also think it's just good practice that should be normalized.
Yeah, more stuff like this will help normalize that.
My autistic knight,
but a knight nonetheless.
You're a frog.
Indeed, and the finest blade in all the swamp. They call me Sir Hopalot.
They certainly do.
I have no lands, no lily pads to my name. I have nothing save this sword and my heart. And both are yours, my lady.
Sir, are you gonna make Alpha Frog?
Well, who knows? If she does, he might turn into a prince. You never know.
Oh my god! Is this like Princess and the Frog meets Cinderella?
Actually, it's a lot of things mix Cinderella. Cinderella is the main thing, but it's very clear that they're mixing in quite a few things.
Autism mascot knight. I am Sir Hopalot, and I despise loud noises.
Do frogs have ears? Wait a minute. Do frogs have ears?
I don't think so. They don't have ears as like a separate body part, but they can hear, I think, yes.
From the kitchen.
And taught me what true kindness was. It was that day I swore myself to your service.
It's also why I know about your revenge quest, because you also admitted that to me.
Now the magic of this fine fairy has granted me this form and a squire to aid me in my quest. Where are you, Crumb?
Crumb,
This
it
I
is
knew as
a
well.
mouse. It's a mouse. It's a mouse.
Yeah. This I knew as well, but I had no guesses. And speaking of Joe Richter puppeteering.
You know, but like the mouse, they should put the mouse in a suit.
This might be my favorite. This one might be my favorite one so far.
I still think my favorite character is Lucinda, but
No. I mean, this. Oh, I see you're responding to the comments. Sorry, I'm tunnel vision now. This might be my favorite Starkid's work so far. It has everything I love.
You have a connection to rats, particularly. You of course have been part of the Rat Warrior on Discord before.
Yes, I even on Polar SMP. I played as a rat. I was a rat that got anthropomorphized and taken from like her home by Shorty.
Yeah, I do recall this lore. Yes.
Yeah.
From the way people are supposed to feel about babies. Yeah.
You know, I understand that. No, this musical, it has everything. Oh my god, it has the good cinematography, good music, good acting. It's got a couple gods in there. It has it has frogs. It not only does it have frogs, it has a night frog named Sir Hopsalot, and his squire's a fucking rat. And it has feminine rage, everything I love about it.
I did ask where the rats were as well. And I guess here's the answer.
Crumb, take a knee before your sovereign. Oh. Forgive him, my lady. He is as green as summer.
He's a cute little mouse.
Oh, it's
yes,
a mouse.
But
okay. Less exciting. All right. I'm gonna head out.
Nice rat, same difference.
Never mind, Nerdy Prude's still better.
Under my
the rat is what made the difference.
Oh my goodness.
Nerdy Prudes does have one thing on this though. It has Grace Chastity.
I thought you were gonna say it has Max Jaegerman, but yeah.
He has that too. I mean, I could be bullied by him any day.
You probably would be.
Of a frog.
You're right, sir. She's very pretty.
Pretty?
Oh, that's such a good
Insolent boy. A newt is pretty.
Yes, Wolfram.
Our lady is the sun itself. Let any who say otherwise meet the killing end of my blade.
Well, maybe the goddess before you might have some thoughts on that.
Oh, wait. My lady is the sun herself. The sun burns the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Squirrels or badgers out there who dares test the metal of mine oath, step forth and die. Ha! Ha! Have at me!
I do have a question as to whether or not the squire has any weapons. Some squires didn't. I'm just wondering because of the fact that he's like imitating along.
That won't be necessary, Sir Knight.
Of course, my lady.
These noble companions will escort you to the prince's ball.
I'm going to the ball?
Not in those humble rags.
You have a post-act costume change for that, as is the way with the pantomimes.
Take my hand and come with me.
Where?
To the dressing room.
Beyond time, to the end of all things.
Or at least the intermission of them. We have so many of these.
All alone at night. In the thick of wild.
In the black and white. She said night. I thought of black and white instantly.
Lady Ashmore at the stake in time.
That's what happened to her mother. She burnt the stake in time, yeah.
For her clan to find her tragic. The flames of ruination.
Okay, another thing I'll say about like the instrumentation of this, like the in the background, I think that probably should have come in now compared to before. Everything other instrument, I think works perfectly well there. I think that part probably was better like in this breakdown here.
you know why Kim's voice is so ethereal in this one? Here's the thing. She sounds great usually. You know what makes this special? They're adding a little bit of that Celtic folk flair in it. Not enough to be like a proper Celtic folk song, but it has just enough flair that it's very present.
I'm sensing the theme here, you know, it's like not that's like not entirely Celtic, but you know, but hints to it, like you said before.
Take their hold.
Ooh, they're the arms in the background too.
That's what I was saying, yeah. And it reminds me, this probably isn't intentional, but it does remind me of the I am become death quote, where he cites like Vishnu saying to the king or whatever, I am Kala, the destroyer of worlds. And in her like mini arms.
I have become not a jack in the box, not a queen in the box, or a king in the box. I truly am the eighth in the box. Yeah.
And every
Oh no, more cheeseburgers. Not again.
Ashmore, no exception. No. A story so old, it's nothing but bones. It all turns to ash and ash and
Okay.
dust, and there's nothing left.
I didn't even want to pause it. I was just so enthralled. This is okay. I love a lot of the
Every time I hear sounds coming from either of you two, I am automatically paused to for you know.
I can pause it. We're good.
Yeah. No, I know you can. It's just I'm the one exclusively pausing it this episode.
That's because I just haven't had much that I thought needed to be like that. I just haven't had much that I thought that wouldn't be so quick that we had to like pause it. Anyways, this is such an awkward moment to pause. Sorry, man, I didn't do it.
So many stills, yeah.
But no, I was gonna say a lot of these Starkid songs I really like, but they don't make me feel a certain way. There was one in one of the Harry Potter ones. It was the coolest girl.
What? Oh, okay.
This one, however.
Girl. Okay, I thought you were talking about the voices screaming out from Sirius. Okay, fair enough.
No, this one. This is another one.
All right. Can you fight? Well, he is a spy, so the answer is yes. Absolutely.
He can't fight her.
I was deadpan those notes. I said before, actually, my favorite Kim Whelan thing that she's done actually is like the vibrato in the Lovely Girl song. That's one thing for me specifically where I was like, yeah, that is one of the most like impressive vocalizations I've heard in Starkid, and that's saying a lot because I'm always impressed by them. I just don't say it every single time because it gets repetitive. We've done a lot of these videos. For some of you, it's the first time, but if we said every time how good the acting is or how good the singing is,
like, this one's on a different level though.
Depends. It's on a different level to some of the stuff that we have watched. There's definitely a hierarchy in terms of Starkid things.
This is at minimum up there with the best of Hatchetfield.
Agreed. Yes, that I will give you. And also best in general, because like I'm not saying that for me, Hatchetfield is not always the best of Starkid.
Yeah,
but yeah.
All things.
But how it's in Virginity rocks. Well, also, but I mean, a lot of the Starkid cast has done high notes, so I didn't attribute that to her specifically. But yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Her tragic. The flames of ruination take their hold of every soul. And every
You'll notice I brought this one back a little bit. This one is.
I did this too. I thought the video was lagging.
This one was just me pulling some strings.
A story so old, it's nothing but bones. It all turns to ash and ash and dust to dust, and there's nothing left but a vengeful lust. Hopes are dashed and dashed fire is just.
Ella found herself floating on tides of nothingness. For in this place, at the end of time, that is all that remains, save one.
I don't think anyone but her can sing high G5s. Again, Sean.
Flickering moat.
What is that?
Like, I feel like a lot of them probably can do it, but they haven't physically done so in Starkid stuff. That's the thing. You know, it's not always appropriate to show off like the true extent of your vocal range. It really depends on like what's actually good for the actual story. So that's what I mean. Yeah.
Also, you have another. This is a classic like imagery of like of one being above the other in like a straight line to show like a unification.
Hmm? Yeah. In fact, it actually reflects the other arms in the background, which are already unified.
The last bit of light in this eternal dark. From it I shall craft your final gift. Trappings of starlight. I forge you these 3 gifts.
You forge me these 3 gifts
For your just intention.
for my just intention
Against your opposition.
against my opposition.
He's Lord as well.
She said opposition with so much venom there compared to the rest of like the repetition.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I feel like for this show specifically, Kim definitely has the lead in terms of vocalization, but Bryce has the lead in terms of acting through song.
Yeah,
both very crucial for musicals, of course.
Which I think again works really well because Bryce is human, so it makes sense. Whereas you have Kim, who is the divine, so force of nature. She is the song.
Yeah, like they all have both to some degree. And again, I don't normally point out one versus another, except in certain situations where it becomes like more apparent, like now.
The house.
We missed a great delivery, apparently.
I doubt it, but all right.
Well, I mean, I don't doubt it. It happens all the time.
Against your opposition. Against my opposition. Wisely? Hardly.
Okay, there we go.
The house of Ashmore rises once again.
It rises once again. Is that how this ends?
Well, I mean, it's how Act 1 ends, you know. It doesn't. Once a house rises again, it doesn't really end there. Hatchetfield taught us that.
Oh yeah, I don't know how she could have perfected where she got. It's really good.
I mean, one could speculate, but probably best not to. I mean, even for us, that's a level of breakdown that will, destroy every sense of immersion.
It all depends if you turn them all to ash and ash and dust to dust.
They're really keen on like the arms rising and falling for this choreography specifically. But also, I'll say this: these now they're actually directing themselves towards her, like they're almost like reaching out to her rather than like rejecting her, as the other choral numbers have been. Numbers have been up at this point.
Yeah, it's another. It's actually I'm realizing there's a lot of instances of duality in this show, but this is another instance of duality where yes, you have the arms and it's going up and down to represent like a flame. But then you also have them encircling her, similar to how the stepmother did, but in the context of them and the mother, it's a lot more like a cult surrounding a messiah or a god or something.
And there's the religion again.
Mother is standing right behind them. That is so fair.
Oh, give it up to Starlight.
The last bit of light in eternal dark. Where all things return and all things will start. The dying ember of the flame.
You know what, actually, Hansing, sorry. I saw this comment here. I thought unclear Fairy God's Queen vibe is. Like, she doesn't feel like a good guy or a bad guy, to put it really badly. If anything, you know what, that's somewhat relatable. Where it's that we talked about this a little bit before, actually, about the retaliation against those who deserve it with some level of malice that is deep inside, deep inside all of us. I will say we have all collectively been enacting some of that fairly recently with some people who have been lacking on artistic credit for others and have been called out for their so on multiple occasions. There was even a troll today that's on a friend's stream that was also involved in that. Oh, actually, she was actually here before, the friend in question. We went into a D&D roleplay beforehand. Again, these streams have no focus. But yeah, like for her as well. And there was that, like how much like joy there was to like just remove like every single alt account as they're struggling to even like have a grasp of the power of the mods. Like, yeah, to some degree we all have that. So it's identifiable, which is great because normally with godlike characters, sometimes they're made to be non-identifiable to some degree because they are detached from humans, but it's nice to rate them on some level. I like that when it happens. I will also scroll back because I know I was in the middle of something.
The last bit of light in eternal dark, where all things return and all things will start. The dying ember of the flame of life, I shall craft this starlight. Forgive or forget, then I will pardon those I am meant to. I shall craft this starlight. Forgive or forget, then am I broken? Too late to avenge you. I shall craft this starlight. Ash and ash and dust to dust, and it all returns to whence it's come. Hopes are dead and dashed and dreams are lost, but the gods still know who's left and run. Ash, ash, dust to dust, Cinderella must to the prince's ball we go.
There's the opening.
And also a reference to Salem. That was the reason Salem was founded, to be the city upon a hill.
Ah, okay. Oh, you weren't here at the start of the stream. The castle on the hill was important because that's where the Ashmore family are from.
Cinderella just to radiate and glow. Oh, I shall craft thee starlight. I shall wrap thee in these cinders, Elle.
Cinders, Elle, okay.
And terrible.
I guess we never got like the whole fireplace thing that I mentioned earlier. So like that's the actual reason Cinderella was called that originally. But okay. So I guess now we get that. All right.
As
I see what you mean as far as deadpan now. Like I was somewhat I was reading those before. I was like, I didn't know how to address them, but now I see what you mean because yeah, with a lot of with a lot of musical performers, it's actually something they tell you not to do when you train for musical theater. By the way, you know what people will like when they do like high notes, they go like that kind of thing. Like they'll have like a whole like big thing like as they're straining or something. It's like you don't need to. There's like same but it's like that, basically same thing. Yeah. And you don't need to like put that effort in. Like if you have if you have enough control and enough training, you can deadpan something like this, and it does show the achievement behind that. Yeah, like that isn't talent, that is skill, and it's best represented here.
All in all, this one might be my favorite Starkid numbers. Period. I may be in a minority. I don't know, but that's where I'm at. It's eerie and powerful and weird. I would have to agree. It's at least up there. But
yeah,
regardless, you can at least.
For me, it's too early to say. Like we just watched it. Yeah,
I mean, you can at least put your mind at ease on one thing, that is an objective fact. You are indeed in a minority.
For now.
Well, no, I think you're probably going to stay in one.
Lady Ashmore dance.
Unless you suddenly become straight.
Oh, okay, you're referencing that kind of minority. Okay, all right. Then no.
In the midst of wild.
And again, I'll give credit to Jeff Blim here as well. Like we've heard him before with his usual like natural like subtle vibrato before as before, but now he's actually like most of the time Jeff Blim gets the credit for his high notes too, actually. And But yeah, in this case, like him actually being able to like show like his low range as well. Again, it's not always appropriate to like, show like that part of your range, especially for his other characters. But in this instance, it works.
Oh no!
Oh, there's one word left.
Literally
Okay.
one word left. Here. I'm sorry. Maybe this one is there. Okay, Jesus Christ. That's so far back. No.
I don't know. I didn't press it that time.
You shall be as radiant and terrible as I.
If you pause during the moment, it's worse.
Lady Ashmore danced all alone at night in the midst of wild
Magic.
Did somebody say wild magic?
Oh,
Dobby, you're
no.
still here? You haven't talked in a long time.
I zoned out a little bit. I kind of got really tired. I'm really enjoying the show, but also I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Oh my goodness.
You are.
I got it right. I got it right at the end of the video.
Anyways, final thoughts because I gotta go bathroom.
Yeah. You know what?
I think it was pretty good so far. I'm quite enjoying the show. Music is pretty good. Which is pretty good for Starkid right now, just because I feel like we've been reviewing older Starkid stuff, like a very Potter musical and stuff, and like going back
because
to
we ran out of new stuff.
yeah, but going back to some of their older stuff, I just really don't connect with their older music, like from a Harry Potter musical and that kind of like stuff from like the past. I don't connect with the music as much as like the post start at Hatchetfield and stuff. Then I start to be like, okay, I vibe with the music.
Yeah,
but
so
like I quite vibe with this.
Yeah. So for me, like yes, I do connect to some degree with the older stuff because that's how I started watching Starkid. Actually, it was a Shmoyoho video that Darren Criss was involved in where they promoted Starkid and then they went to be directed to a very Potter musical. So I very much like got a delayed start as the way that most people back in the day learned about Starkid before Hatchetfield was a thing. And
anyways,
then that took
so
yes, thank you. All right. Yeah. Okay. And that took me into and that took me into the middle, what I call the middle era of Starkid now, because like I feel like very Potter and like that time period up until about Home Musical Batman, I would actually very Potter Senior Year actually I would call classic Starkid. I called anything before Hatchetfield from that point on was the middle era Starkid, so 2013 to 2018. And then 2018 onwards was basically for a while pretty much only Hatchetfield before VHS Christmas kind of took off and etc. And yeah, like I said before, like my favorite era of Starkid out of those three was the middle Starkid, precisely because I feel like I can see why I can understand Aiden's complaint as to like that of the older songs being leaning too much into the comedy rather than the sentimentality, because like BB said, there are few and far between examples of in older Starkid videos of songs that make you feel to that same degree. They're not necessary all the time for certain musicals. Again, they're not always that's like the aim of it, but it's nice when they exist. Back to what I was saying before about like the other genres and such. But yeah, and then with Hatchetfield, a lot of it end up and again, the aim was to be somewhat pessimistic and lean much more into the drama versus the comedy. In some cases, that takes one out of it. Like in Black Friday, it didn't perform as well for people because of that. Although I will say Black Friday is the one time that I had a freak out similar to the chat right now without pausing, because BB talked over the "Where's Tim" line that Tom said, and I was waiting for the whole musical for us to get to that point. So I then freaked out and went back. So I get what you're saying, but back to this point. The middle Starkid has both, because shows like Twisted particularly show that there are they knew how to balance those things. They still did. It's just that again, like as time went by, they seemed to go in the opposite direction. I feel like in this case, it seems like because that it's like Cinderella's Castle seems to have honestly a middle era Starkid feeling to it. I think it's probably getting more appropriate as time goes by. to talk about, like, the Potter era, the Hatchetfield era, and the other eras in between, I suppose, where they get more experiments, where they get more variety, and they actually strike more of a balance between the comedy and the drama. I feel like we're going back into that era. I will say it's too early to say right now that some of these would be my favorites because they are fresh in the mind and I haven't had time to properly attune to them like the other Starkid musicals. Like, you can tell if you watch the other videos that the ones that I've seen, I have a much more intense connection to them and I dig much deeper into them because I've had time, quite frankly, to dig deep into them and seen them multiple times or to do so over the years. But yeah, I don't know. A preliminary thought says that yes, this is on par with some of the best of Hatchetfield, which does include my favorite musical of all time. Well, one of my favorite musicals of all time, Goddamn Musicals, along with Firebringer. It's a joint first right now. So it's on the right tracks for sure. And maybe as time goes by, as I watch it again, and I enjoy it without my own pausing, maybe that will that opinion will elevate further than right now. I think it can only go up. I don't think I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna watch this later on and think like, now that I watch this sucks. I doubt it very much. Actually, I've never had that experience with Starkid. So
yeah. I mean, on that topic, I will say also for the record, we do understand the pausing complaint. It's not that we don't understand it.
Yeah, no, that Black Friday was like 2023 for us. Like I've understood for a long time.
But
that's why you have the original.
But I would say this is a musical so far, at least in Act 1, unless they really drop the ball in Act 2, that I do think is worth watching anyways. And obviously you guys all have, but if you guys really hated our pausing that much, go check it out again. Or for the first time if you're a bot watcher or something.
That's a good point, yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, for most of the Starkid people, they have seen the stuff probably more times than I have. So, but yeah, most of the time, our style for the other stuff we react to on other channels, a lot of it is new to some people, so it kind of works a little bit better for them there if they haven't, if they're not this devoted a fan base to or something else.
Sure.
So yeah, that's potentially why. But yeah, yeah, honestly, if we didn't pause, there'd probably be no point to us even, our faces being here in the first place because, why at that point? Yeah. Yeah. So I guess hopefully I'll be back next week again. Depends because I'll be in Madrid. But I will endeavor to come back because I'm definitely invested in this. I do love the change that they have. I love the twist they've done with this.
Yeah.
Not even just because of Episode Twisted, but just in general, like
the sooner we can get
I even have a soft spot to the Prince and the River because it's like, I mean, why not? At this like I get it's been a while since Starkid have like parodied something to that extreme as well. That's why it feels like middle era. They have that they have those elements of like their comedic roots, but they also take themselves seriously. Again.
Okay, so I will say this is a different take. The context of these takes are usually the same. This one's interesting. Like, I approach musical theater with reverence. I would hate to interrupt it. That's just me, though. Y'all are fun. We appreciate the last bit of y'all are fun. I will say the reverence. I understand that. That's fair. And not only is it fair, it's respectful. Like, that is the correct take to have. The big difference to how we get here is that, again, this is a review. And not only that, but it's a review of something that was posted online. And it's one that a lot of people have already seen. And so due to all three of those factors mixing in, it's just, if it, like,
I'm 100% not going to yell out in a theater.
No, certainly not. I would die. I would never dream of it. I would throw fucking tomatoes at someone if they did it.
Exactly.
There's no way. No, yeah, we do feel the same way, just not within this context.
Yeah, we treat all arts that we see the same way because, like, on this channel, we've only really done this style of reaction. Well, actually, we have done it for some other stuff. We done it for some audio dramas and some Dragon Ball related stuff in the deep past of the Butter Bunch channel, but mostly here it's just been Starkid and Tin Can Bros for the time being. However, on my main channel particularly, but also on other other corners of the internet sometimes, yeah, the way that we break down stuff, like we treat everything the same way because we're trying to give everything the same amount of reverence, or lack thereof, I suppose. But yeah, the same amount
Sure,
of
yes.
the same amount of attention and dedication. Like I don't want to be like, okay, this is this is magical, therefore I automatically have to treat it a certain way, because that's not really fair to the other stuff that hasn't done that. You know, similar to like voice acted versus non-voice acted gacha stuff, if you have seen the main stuff. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's very much as Tom Lehrer once said, I do have a cause though. It is obscenity. I'm for it.
In our case, I guess replace obscenity with analysis, and maybe we'll get something there.
A little bit of obscenity.
Well, that is true. We did. Well, I particularly did make quite a lot of poop jokes in this.
I know reverence is a lot.
The word reverence is a lot.
No, I get that. Look, man, we go off the deep end sometimes. You're fine. we get weird. Reverence is not the strangest thing that has been shown or said on this channel.
No, if anything, the word has religious connotations. Baby probably likes it.
Yeah. If it's naturally, yes, that is how that works. I'm sure. If it makes you feel better, though, we don't pause as much when we are off camera.
Oh no! Well, we sometimes do watch parties where we'll do this for them ourselves as well, but that's mostly us riffing the material rather than like analyzing it. But again,
yeah, most of those we've already seen at least once. It's really just rewatching.
Yeah, either that or it's some people like introducing us to like childhood shows or something. Like Ghosty has shown me Danny Phantom for the first time, and I have riffed that to shreds from what I've seen so far. Also, the English dub of Cody.
Also, I'm adjusting, guys. If there was ever a way to describe the experience of entering our channel, it's that we are an acquired taste.
Yes, a taste acquired over the course of 4 hours, which is the duration of this stream. Which means I really should get I really should actually get some food and actually get going, because I need to make sure all my travel plans are in order. So so great first act. Can't wait for next week. I'm once again going to go in the dark and avoid marketing. But if there's anything we missed out for this act, not for the future ones, let us know in the comments, and let us know your thoughts of liking or disliking. And we'll see you all soon enough in another Butter Bunch video. Toodle pip.
God damn, that was good.